Trifecta Nooner with Michelle and Everything Home Talk Radio Show. We're your censorship-free, safe space sanctuary speakeasy for patriots. Our Motivated Monday live studio audience all have their masks on. Just kidding. Come on, peeps, like they would be COVID slaves. Put on your common sense caps with the people. Grab your pen and paper for all the quality content you're about to hear. It's Omnipotent October and time to make your business, your life, and this country better. Take action, BLC. Today's topic's on episode 262, caregiving tips, Hollywood insanity, more money, honey, energy, healing, sex slave industry, border invasion, COVID lies, vaccine facts, and your health with special guests Mike Miller and Dr. Eric Nepute. All of this delivered by our partners in the Everything Home Socially Conscious Referral Network and Marketplace. They're good people doing good business and good things. Today's lineup: Betsy Wartzel, advice for caregivers to help navigate through the hardship. Alexia Malaki, Hollywood producer of little studio films, making positive movies and the insanity inside the industry. David Shattuck, certified financial planner, money tips from the host of the Weekly Wealth Podcast. Julia Stube, energy intuitive, assisting others to wholeness through self-empowerment, energy healing, and true release. Christy Hutcherson, women fighting for America, our border invasion and the sex slave industry, and sitting shotgun in Michelle's Patriarch Soapbox are two special guests. At 1 p.m., Mike Miller, citizen journalist and founder of Warriors for Ranchers, and a good buddy of mine, a grassroots organization helping families affected by the border invasion of illegal aliens and sex slave traders, which, you know, the biggest sex slave trader is Joe Biden. It's true, Piss. Think about it. Mike has the inside scoop on what's really going on with the cartels and the corrupt American officials at every level. And just so you all know, every governor in this country could stop the border crisis immediately. They choose not to. And at 1:30 p.m., Dr. Eric Nepute, COVID facts, and your health. Oh, listen to this one. During the height of the political propaganda pandemic, he released a video that had over 30 million views, suggesting people take vitamin D and zinc to prevent and fight COVID. Oh, my God, my natural stuff. Our tyrannical government, you know how they rewarded him? They fined him $8 million and gagged him. So be sure to stick around for the second hour of the show. Facts, truth, take action, items, resources, and, of course, some entertainment. Visit everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com for more information on today's guests, their websites, their own shows, and everything you need to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference, especially in your communities. One location for all the information. Breaking news. Number one, Delta Airlines is dropping their vaccine mandate, but rest assured they're taking the extra steps to make it very convenient for employees who don't get the syringe of demonic deception and destruction. Number two, Southwest Airlines has asked the court to reject a lawsuit to block their COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Ironically, they're known as the Freedom Airline, not so much. No, looks like they need to change their slogan to Freedom to Fly, only if you comply. Number three, the U.S. Navy, once a great organization, is requiring sailors to pay back the cost of their training if they get discharged for using common sense, relying on their God-given immune systems, and aren't afraid of a virus that has a higher survival rate than the regular flu. Unbelievable. It is October 18th, day 582 of 15 days to slow the spread that started all this.
Snap out of it.
You need to remember that the mandate issued by the federal government was just an announcement. It's not enforceable. And their own federal law does not allow products approved under the emergency use authorization to be mandated, which includes vaccines, masks, and tests. It's their own laws, people. You just need to listen to episode 259 with Alan Phillips from last week, the nation's leading vaccine rights legal expert. And please listen to the two most important COVID episodes you will ever hear. Last Friday, number 261 with Dr. Lee Merritt, unbelievable information in episode 254 with Dr. Brian Artis, and share the heck out of them to save the lives of your family and friends. It's time to stop being a COVID slave. And by the way, it's D-269 by the Joe Biden Nazi regime, which is the most successful administration in the history of America at accomplishing their agenda of destroying our country. It's time to think about what are you going to do to stand up to the tyranny and freedom of hating government, our media, corporations, schools, and all the other false authorities. You know the 13 bigs we keep talking about. Let me help you with the low-hanging fruit, peeps. Stop giving them your money.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. You know what they say, let's go, Brandon.
Now it's time to meet the partners of the Everything Home Socially Conscious World Network and Marketplace. Today's topics on episode 262, caregiving tips, Hollywood insanity, money, honey, energy healing, sex slave industry, border invasion, COVID lies, vaccine facts, and your health with special guest Mike Miller and Dr. Eric Nepute.
Let's get ready to rumble!
First up is my Jersey girl, Betsy Wurtzel. She's the host of Chatting with Betsy podcast. She's got a new website, and she's helping caregivers by education, inspiration, and advocating. Audience, big round of applause. Betsy, how are you today?
Good. How are you, Michelle? Thank you for having me on.
You are welcome. I am fired up. I'm in fuego. This happens usually when I leave the house and do an errand or two. And I was there this weekend. I did a couple errands, and I saw people wearing masks, like by themselves in the parking lot. Betsy, what is going on? How's it in Jersey? Do they still have no common sense there? Because I know you've got a Nazi of a governor.
Yeah, it's crazy. As a matter of fact, my brother will not allow me near our mother because I did not get the jab. So I'm the evil one, Michelle.
No, you are the smart one. You are the one that's going to survive. Unfortunately, it's not going to end well for anyone who does take that. And, of course, they're trying to now push, which we knew it was coming. We've been talking about it for a long time. They're trying to tell you better get that flu shot. Oh, my God, that's the one thing you do not need to get. So make sure that you tell your friends and your family, stay away from that. You should never get it anyway. There's lots of shows that we've done. I have a whole page on the website about it. But anyway, let's get into some caregiving tips because you're probably going to have to do some caregiving out there for what's going to happen. These people are following the vaccines and getting those. You're creating. Again, we've talked about this before, and I've talked about this with a lot of people that come on this show. Your group of people that you service are going to be growing, and it's not a group we want to grow, unfortunately. But you are going to have more people join the caregiving group because of this non-vaccine. So what are we going to do? How are we going to help people?
Well, Michelle, I want to highly recommend – I was thinking about what should I talk about today, and I feel led to talk about the importance of joining a support group, whether it's in person if that's possible. Wasn't possible for me when I was caregiving for Matt, my husband, or virtual, which I do attend a bereavement group virtually, or on Facebook. I went crazy in 2014 joining support groups on Facebook because I had no support. Caregivers, you need support. You are not the only ones who feel the way you do. And I'm finding out that people think they're alone in how they feel, and they're not. It's just that people are afraid to say how they feel because of judgment from others. Well, who cares what people think? I know I do.
Yeah, who cares? Anymore. Who cares? Because it's going to happen to them at some point. See, that's the thing. And I don't mean to jump in, but I just needed to just shake some reality into people. So, who cares what other people think? Because it doesn't matter. And anybody that actually would think be like low of you because you wanted support, there's something mentally wrong with those people. You don't want to be their friend. You don't want to be around them. That's not somebody that should even have. Shouldn't even be around other human beings because there's nothing positive. It goes back to what we're saying. People are just demonic, right? And that is just a really bad person. So the hell with what they say, because guess what? At some point, it's going to happen to them. They're going to, no matter what. Unfortunately, in your world, Betsy, everyone is going to be in that situation or on the end of the situation at some point in their life. That is just a fact. It's sucks, but that's the truth.
Yes, that's the truth. That is true. What is the saying? I forgot exactly, but either you're going to be a caregiver, or you were a caregiver, or you're going to need a caregiver.
It's one of the two.
The truth.
It's just the way it is. It doesn't matter. It's because that's just unless your fate is basically one day you walk across the street and boom, you get hit by a bus, and you are going to end up the next day being diagnosed with cancer. So other than that, boom, you're that's not, and I'm not joking about it. I've been through it, so I'm just trying to lighten it up and make it a reality for people. So you might as well pull all those misconceptions out, whatever side that you're on, and just jump all in the game together and do what you can and join these support groups. Do you have suggestions on where people can look for these support groups?
Yes. You could look on Facebook. Matter of fact, I have a support group, #KICK.
We hate Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
Your Alzheimer's Association has support groups. Look in at your senior centers. Ask them if they know. Here in New Jersey, if anybody is in New Jersey and they want to know about COPSA, please contact me. I don't want to give their information out unless I have their permission, but I can. If you contact me, I can tell you about a wonderful group of people here in New Jersey that have they have a team for doctors. You can be evaluated, and they have virtual support groups right now because of the situation that we're in. I wish I knew about that resource when Matt was alive, but I didn't. And that's why I do what I do, Michelle, because I want people to know about resources that I didn't know about to help them. It's about paying it forward. And we all need support. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed if you need support. And if anyone tells you to be strong, tell them to go screw themselves, because ask them how strong they will be and their loved ones deteriorating and dying. You don't have to be strong 24/7. That's a bunch of crap. That's how I feel, Michelle. You're the girl setting it straight.
Well, you know what? That's God, Betsy. Every time you come on, you make me cry. All right, but anyway, jeez. But you're right on. The hell with the people. Yeah, I just can't imagine somebody would be not supportive of anybody. Like I said, that person's a demon. They're demonic. Get them out of your life, and be thankful they showed their true colors before you really thought you could rely on them. Think of it that way, right? Isn't that what we do? We try to turn around all these things that are coming at us in a negative standpoint and try to see some sort of value out of it, or some sort of recognition, or some sort of reality check, like, man, this is happening for a reason, or whatever. If that happens to you, just be thankful that they showed their true colors in advance of when you maybe were going to rely on them. So, check them off the list, kick them to the curb. You don't meet with those kind of people. Betsy, give your website and any social media links that you want to share with people so they can get more resources and reach out to you.
Sure. Thank you, Michelle. My podcast is Chatting with Betsy on all major podcast outlets. My support group is #Kick Alzheimer's Death Movement on Facebook. My own personal page is Betsy Wurzel, Wurzel. And can I give my email, Michelle?
You give whatever you want. Just don't give your address because you don't need a stalker showing up at your house.
That's true. My email is Sloan. That's my married name, Sloan, SLOAN, Betsy31 @gmail.com. And I'd be happy to tell anyone about the wonderful group of people here in New Jersey. There is help. People don't know about their local resources, and that's what you need to find out. And thank you, Michelle, for having me on. And everyone, get the negative people out of your life. You don't need them. And your true friends will show their true colors. And I had many people abandon Matt and I when we needed them the most. And all I got to say to them is, screw you, and karma is a
Screw you, and adios, bad amigos. non-amigos for me. Aha. All right, Betsy. And by the way, everybody, it's okay to cry on a podcast and live talk radio and live TV. There's nothing wrong with that. That is just, and for those of you who listen, you know, it happens a lot. That's just what these people make me do. They make me cry. So thank you, Betsy Worcel. We will talk to you next month, my dear.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. Alrighty, it's 12:16. There's so much that is going on, and there's so much jam-packed, but I just do want to let you know that this weekend kind of put me over the edge with the insanity of people still wearing their masks and people still talking about getting the vaccine, and the fact that they're pushing lies. Oh, my God. Like, I don't know if you saw on Fox News on Sunday. Chris Wallace, you know, him and I can't call him doctor, sorry. Him and Anthony Fauci are best friends, right? They love each other, right? It was like, it's almost like a Chris Matthews thrill up the leg with Barack Obama. But, you know, that's not even his last name. But we'll get into that in another show. Anyway, the guy lied the entire interview. And, you know, I only watch this stuff because I got to find out what the liars are telling all the good peeps out there. So I've gotten to the point where when I have experts on the show, just because you need more information, but we're going to move past talking about all these things to a level, because I want to focus on the people that already are. I got a clue. There's supposed to be 66 million of us out there that will not get the non-vaccine because we're smart and we have common sense caps on. So we're going to be focusing on, what are you going to do to grow your business? How are you going to enhance the quality of your life? What are you going to do to save this country? And what are you going to do to make yourself better, and especially your communities? We're going to bring these patriots together. We're going to bring the businesses together. We're going to give them the people that if you're out there doing great things, and guess what? We're going to tell everybody else about you. We want you to be part of this community so that you can get some business referrals, so that people could know about you, because we're not supporting the bad peeps anymore. We're not supporting the bad companies. You're never going to fly Southwest Airlines again. Why would you? Why would you? And I used to love that airline. Unfortunately, Delta, they actually caved in a little bit. But, you know, like I said, they're making it hard. So, yeah, you could fly Delta. All these companies that are forcing the non-vaccine, literally, no more money to them. And like the big banks, get your money out of there. But anyway, we're going to focus on that, because we're going to focus on solutions, because everybody that's listening to this show already knows the insanity of all the things and all the lies that are that these non-vaccines and these masks. And I want to know the tests. You know, the stuff they're putting on the test swabs. Oh, so yeah, I'm not going to bother you with that anymore. You just know that you have the resources already on the platform here under the COVID Facts tab. So if you're new, go ahead and start playing in there, and you get all the information and the resources. And then you can also then share that with your friends, because we're already at an advanced level. You know what I mean? I'm not going to deal with the kindergarten stuff here. A little bit every once in a while, but we're going to go straight into college, right? But college, not the indoctrination university centers. We're going to do real college, like hands-on college, like a trade school and a real educational system combined with real life skills being learned. You know, we're going to talk history, we're going to talk finance, all that kind of fun stuff, like a real school. All right, I got to bring in my next guest because I am over by 2 minutes. My next guest. Oh, yeah. When I saw her name on the schedule, I was like, it's about time, girlfriend. I don't know where you've been. Alexia Malaki. She's a Hollywood producer of Little Studio Films and host of the Heart of Show Business podcast. It's been a while. Audience, big round of applause. Where have you been?
Oh, Michelle, I am in the midst of Hollywood insanity. This is what is happening. I have so much to say. I know I'm supposed to be inspirational, and I'm going to try to be. I'm going to try to be, but I thought I would let you know.
No, yeah, you don't have to be inspirational.
Okay, no, because I do want to give you some real-time stuff. You know, I'm so thankful that you have this platform to talk about what is really going on. And people need to know what is really going on in Hollywood. And one of the latest developments that I am going to say on the radio in real time, because it's crazy, and I don't know if it's happening in Arizona. My mother, who is not vaccinated, she's my business partner, she just got denied medical care from her doctor because she's not vaccinated. She has to go and get her blood pressure medicine get taken care of because she's having side effects, and her doctor of 10 years will not see her unless she is vaccinated. Now, in what country do we live in where doctors who by the Hippocratic Oath are supposed to be there for us and be available to us when we have an emergency, deny medical care because she is not vaccinated. I am furious. So this is what is happening in California.
And that's not a real doctor. That's not a real doctor. I want to clarify. That's not a real doctor. That's not a real doctor. That's not what doctors do.
Exactly. That's a professor of UCLA who, has been seen. And she even said that I'm going to test myself. And they said they're going to let it slide by this time if she tests herself to go and see him. But he will not be taking care of her moving forward unless she gets vaccinated. So I'm just saying this is Hollywood insanity. On top of it, what is happening, and again, I'm going to let it out for everybody to know, I am here to make movies. I'm going to continue making movies because I do believe in the power of storytelling. However, I will not discriminate against creatives and workers and not give them jobs because they're not vaccinated. And this is what is happening in Hollywood in real time. Actors are losing jobs, and it's something that it's just people are not getting hired. They're getting segregated. Michelle, this is what, if you end up working on a TV show that by chance they allow you to just test yourself and not get the vax and not get the jab, you're going to be segregated in a little corner with your own special table, with your own special food, and you're not allowed to communicate to anybody on set. And you have to keep your distance. And this is what is happening in this country. And I just feel people need to know what is going on in Hollywood right now. This is what I'm fighting. I'm in the front lines. And I said to everybody, please don't support the true independent filmmakers because they're the only ones who are not following the rules. There's many people who are finding ways to make movies and make them in the middle of nowhere where they don't have to be chased down by the vax police, and to have enough. But it's just crazy. But I will not. I'm going to make it open because this is what America is about. I'm going to make it open for everybody to come and work on my set, whether they're vaccinated or not vaccinated. If they have the talent, they're going to work for me. I am not going to put those rules down. There's no way. So I'm off my soapbox, but I had to vent, especially about the medical care issue, because I just cannot believe that the medical profession will be denying people care because they are not being vaccinated. So there you have it.
It just goes to prove what all the doctors and professionals that I've had on my show that are telling them that they're part of the indoctrination, keyword indoctrination, as Dr. Lee Merritt said on Friday's show, there's a connection there. So they're all part of the system, which the system is designed because them to fall in line and not use science and common sense and follow their oath and do what they've actually committed their careers to. All of that changed. They're there to take orders. They're there, and the orders are coming from the American Medical Association. They're coming from the government. They're coming from Big Pharma. And they are told that if you do not comply and you do not follow what we're telling you, then we can yank your license and we will make your life miserable. And they started doing this a year and a half ago, and they keep on going it. So that's the other thing. So now people, once you find out about these type of these doctors or these hospitals or any of these, anything, even if it's a dentist, I don't care, then you don't go to them anymore. That's how you can't feed the beast.
Exactly.
These people they want to separate it and act like, and do this segregation. Are you kidding me? For the people that are actually the ones that are going to keep humanity alive, the ones that are actually using common sense, and the ones who haven't taken the non-vax that are going to end up being the caregivers, going back to Betsy, the caregivers for the ones that actually got the vax. You should be kissing our asses that we were smart enough not to get this, because who literally is going to wipe your ass when now you need it because you have no immune system and God only knows what you're going to get, not to mention what they're finding out now is that cancer is just getting out of control with people because you don't have an immune system, which is what the non-vaccine does. It destroys that. You don't believe me? Listen to the multiple episodes under the COVID Facts tab on our website, everythinghometalkshow.com, and listen to those episodes with Dr. Brian Artis that we went over, that episode 220, think it was 223, 226. Anyway, they're all listed there. So that was my soapbox, my dear. And I applaud you for standing strong in an industry and in a state that literally, I don't know how we can remove what. It's not even removing it from the union because there's just, years ago, it was just California and a few others. Now it's more than that. It's just insane. So, do you want to plug anything?
Yeah,
you got any upcoming guests? What movie are you working on? Give me about another minute because I did step on your soapbox there myself. I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Well, first, I work. I mean, I live in one of the strictest, if not the strictest, state when it comes to mandates, right? So, but the good news, I just wanted to say something positive. Is the good news is most restaurants and places are not caving in. I mean, yes, they're saying yes, you have to show the proof of vaccine, but most of the time they go you could show them a piece of toilet paper and they would think it's a vax card and they let you through. So it's just one of those things. You may have to do that. So, I mean, I just wanted to say I try to stay truly independent. So, yes, if you have a chance to listen to my podcast, I bring in really great, wonderful artists who are talking about mindset journeys, not just Hollywood talk about me, and egos. It's about success stories, inspirational stories, mindset journeys. Many of them have free minds, which is great, especially most of my guests. They're not caving into all the insanity. So if you want to check it out. And yes, I'll probably next time I come on, I will have some announcements to make regarding new projects that I'm doing that are in line. And I am hiring people who are not vaccinated. So there you go. And I'll tell you all about them next time. But just stay strong. And thank you for telling people, do not give your business to people who are treating you like a second-class citizen, because you are not a second-class citizen just because you exercise your freedom to take care of yourself and your health on your own way, and you're being responsible. And being responsible, that's the most important thing. It's not about wearing a mask or getting vaccinated. It's just being a responsible human being, which we are.
Responsible, it's being smart. It's being smart. It's using common sense. It's following science. It's using your brain and having confidence in, I don't know the truth. Remember, there was never a pandemic, people, from the first place. If you don't believe me, literally listen to episode 261 on Friday. Dr. Lee Merritt lays out all of the information. And if you listen to that episode and then you call me up or you email me or you text me and you say, Michelle, I don't believe that, I'm just going to be so proud to wear my dirty mask and get my non-vaccine that will kill me. There's no hope for you, peeps. There's no hope. There's too much information out there. You just got to pay attention and literally put the common sense cap on. I can't say it enough. I'm tired of saying it. So we're just going to stick with the peeps who already get it and are on our side, like Alexia, because we're not going to waste our time anymore when you guys are out there trying to make it look like we're the bad people. That's okay. You want to say that? You're not going to be around in 6 months to 2 or 3 years anyway. And then you're going to call us when you are sick and say, hey, can you take care of me? You know what? What did Betsy say? Karma's a bitch. So, Alexia, give your website real quick, and then I got to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nothing. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you for having me on my show. And I look forward to coming up next month. I'm going to be a little bit more positive next time, I promise. But this something that had to be told, and I'm going to publicize this, and I want everybody to listen to this show and your show, and also this episode, my friends here in California, to hear about how my poor mother is being treated because of this Newsom land that we live in.
and if you check out the telemed visits, there's I have like 6 or 7 different telemed sites on the COVID facts tab under the treatments and the resources. So go check that out and try to get her a telemed visit, see if they can help her out, and then you don't have to. And there's also doctors on there too, physical locations, physical doctors. It's on there that are people that are using common sense, that are with the Hippocratic Oath, and I believe there's some in California. So go check that out. Everything's on the website. I
will.
So COVID Facts tab and the resources. You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. It's been great being on your show, and you're awesome. You're amazing.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank
you, my dear. Tell your mom I said hi.
Okay.
And check out those resources.
I will. Thanks a lot.
All right. So we both got a lot off of our chest there, everybody. But I know you're feeling the same way, so we want to let you know that there are people out there. Like I said, there's probably like 100 million, if not more, that feel the same way. So let's go ahead and have our voices be heard. It's time to stand up and it is time to not take this anymore. I mean, it is just insane. We're not even going to go into even more of it. But yes, you know that here on our platform, that's where you can be with the like-minded people. You can get the facts, you can get information. You can find other people that think the same way, that feel the same way, that believe in freedom and science and liberty and supporting each other. Businesses, nonprofit organizations, purpose-driven people, all the stuff that you need is all here on our platform. EverythingHomeAboutUs.com, EverythingHomeAboutUs.com. Share this with your family. Share this with your friends. Tons of free information, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of free resources and information and quality content to change everything in your life for the better. Let me bring my next guest on. I'm a few minutes over. My next guest is a new partner on our platform, David Chuddock. He's a financial planner with Parallel Financial. He helps clients to make the best financial decisions, and he also hosts the Weekly Wealth Podcast. Audience, big round of applause for our new partner, David. David, welcome to Everything Home, our platform. How are you today?
I am doing really, really well today, and you have the most energy of any podcast I've ever been on, so I love it.
Well, thank you for saying that. And it's not like there's coffee. That's just, it's like that all the time. It doesn't turn off. That's why I have trouble sleeping. Like this morning, real quick, and then I want you to share who you are, what you do, so we can get to know you better. Like this morning, I woke up, it was like 1:30, and I was wide awake. I probably had 3 hours of sleep, and I said, come on, I'm literally wide awake. I feel like I am now. So that's not cool. Like, I don't want to get vertical. And it's dark out, and it's 1:30 in the morning. So then like 2 or 3 hours later, I fell back to sleep. And then once you know that's when you do that. It's just messy after that. It doesn't work. So, a little energy story for people. So I'm trying to find that little trick to help you sleep, help you relax. So if anybody out there has that, let me know. Come on the show, share it, because I'm sure there's many people that have the problem. But David, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about your show, would you?
Yeah. So David Chuddock, I'm a financial advisor. I've been helping people to make money decisions since 2006. Here's what I believe. I believe that if we took away all of the financial problems in your life or my life that were either self-caused or not self-prevented, we would all have much better lives, wouldn't we? Because how we handle our money, I mean, yes, there are factors out there, but most of our wealth, a lot of our financial conditions really comes down to personal accountability and just making the right financial decisions for us. So living within our means, having a good budget, allocating your money in the right places, not making emotional investment in financial decisions. So on my podcast, www.weeklywealthpodcast.com, we talk about mindsets, tactics, and strategies that can help you to build and maintain wealth. And I believe that if we take away the money problems, we're taking away a heck of a lot of problems, because problems are always going to exist. COVID's always going to be out there or not out there. I mean, there's always going to be, but if we can eliminate the problems that we have some power to reduce or to eliminate, life is just better. And aren't you like a better person when you're not stressed about money? Aren't you? Because I know I am. I know when you're stressed about money, you come home, you kick the dog, maybe you're not as nice to your kids as you need to be. So having our money decisions where they need to be is just super important.
That is symbolic of how screwed up people are, where they're like, they come home, they're like, I suck. I make poor decisions, but you know what, dog? It's your fault, so I'm going to kick you.
That's right.
To make me feel better about the fact that I am careless with many things in my life, including my money habits. But you know what? Here's part of the problem, David. Here's part of the problem, and it's by design. And once we realize it's by design, then maybe we can kind of clue in. We don't learn a lot of this stuff in school because they don't want you to know.
Nope.
We don't. They don't teach you about checkbooks and rent and stocks and all that. Maybe we might have to take advanced courses, but these are things that should be taught all along in school. But they don't want us to know how the system works because they want the system to be against you. They want you to be poor. They want you to be a slave. Yes, I'm going to use the word slave, not because they want you to be dependent. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you to have shows like the Weekly Wealth Podcast to teach you how to do these things and to bring together the people that actually are being successful and share that information. They don't want you to do that, right? And if you haven't figured that out,
rich. Rich
Well,
used to be a compliment. Now, if I say that you're rich or a millionaire or a billionaire, it's almost an insult at this point. And
but they're doing it on purpose.
not all, but many rich people got rich by providing value to the world. Now, yes, are there greedy people? Of course. Are there people that got rich by lying and stealing and cheating? Of course. But most rich people just got there by working hard and providing value. And that's not something that we really admire as much as we should anymore.
And because they vilify. They want you to.
Right.
They want that to be the big bad people. They're not. How do you think that half the stuff most of the things in the world work? Why do you think you have a phone that you can use? Why do you think you have a car that you can drive to work with, or the food that you're eating? It was because somebody was innovative, because somebody took a chance, because other people took a chance in that person and believed in them, and they actually put in the hard work. So again, all of this like reverse psychology, indoctrination of insanity, literally, it is done by design because they don't want people to succeed. So they're going to demonize.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to turn
Absolutely.
those people off, and you got to start using the language against them, whether it's money or like we were talking about the non-vaccine, and you don't want to support those bad people. There's a lot of bad people out there now more than ever, but they've come together and they have their pack of wild wolves that are dominating all the industries, right? So we got to stick together. Otherwise, you're just going to be caught in the system, and then you're going to come home. You're going to kick your dog, and nobody wants to kick their dog, right, David? That's not nice.
No.
Kick dogs.
Dogs are cute. Most dogs are cute.
I love it. And you know what I'm going to do, David? I'm going to, if you can send me your link to the podcast that you want to use, and then the graphic, I'm going to add it to our must listen to page. So that way, when people are like, God, what was the name of that guy's podcast? But I knew it was something about money. Then we're going to put it under the money category, and we'll have that. It's on our website. If you go to everythinghometalkshow.com, you go to the Take Action tab. All of the pages are there. There's multiple tabs, but they all link together. So for those of you who don't know, remember, this is a working warehouse. Like this is the Home Depot of quality content. So then you'll be able to see David's there. It's the must listen to page on the Take Action tab, everythinghometalkshow.com, or you can go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, and that'll give you all the pages listed there. And we're going to add David because he is one of the cool kids. He's got his common sense cap on.
That's right.
I guarantee you he didn't take the vaccine, people, and probably doesn't even wear a mask. What a brave soul, David, you are.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Well, no, this is fun.
Do you want to, real quick, I got a minute, give me one piece of advice for people that they can start doing now for money tips, and then plug your website.
Yes, make yourself more valuable. So it still is true, at least somewhat, that we are all paid based on how difficult it is to replace us. So make yourself more difficult to replace. That way, minimum wage wouldn't even apply to you. People that don't make minimum wage don't have minimum skills. So become more valuable to the world. The reason why your brain surgeon makes more money than you do is because they have a very, very important skill. And www.weeklywealthpodcast.com.
What a great piece of advice. I didn't expect that, but it makes all the sense in the world. So simple. Remember, everything is really, really simple. David, looking forward to having you come back on next month. Please email me the graphic and the link for your podcast, and we will add that to the page. Thank you so much for being a new partner, David.
Great. Thank you.
All righty. Oh, love finding these peeps, right? So if you're one of these peeps, you're one of these like-minded people that are out there loving country, loving God, supporting the freedoms, the values. You got a small business, you got a nonprofit, you're a purpose-driven person, you're an entrepreneur, and you want to come share your information, want to become a partner in our platform. We're really going to expand this community. So we want the audience to be a part of it. We want the partners that are our guests, right? Because once you come on the show, you're a guest. Guest means it's just like it's not your house. This is your part of your house, right? This is you now coming and being our partner. It's like coming into the living room. I don't know. I like family room better, right? Because it's family room. We rarely went in the living room. We always were in the family room. So yeah, we want you to become more of this community. We are going to be bringing everything together at a level that you've probably never seen before because we want you to be a part of it. So the best way to do that is 12:40. I got to jump and go. I got to bump back to my guests. The best way to do that is get signed up for our newsletter, because we're being censored. We can't stream on Facebook. We can't stream on YouTube. The message that comes across right now, it says this channel is not in good standing. Streaming may be unavailable. That's for YouTube, and that is for Facebook. So we can't stream there. I can't even put my website or any of the pages on Facebook. No one else on Facebook can do that too. We've been banned. We're telling the truth, for speaking loudly, trying to bring people together against the satanic Facebook platform, which is a little bit of an inconvenience since there's a lot of people on it. But anyway, join our newsletter. If you go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com, just look on there for the newsletter section, click on that. Or if you go to the website, which all of those links get you right back to the website. It's in the lower right-hand corner of every page, and on your phone or on the website. And of course, the most recent episode scrolls across the bottom of the screen. And if you could like and share this show, we're on all the social media platforms, and I'm not that active because there's not a lot of time, but I'm working on it. It's hard for us to pass. I don't post that much on Facebook anymore because I can't. So what am I going to do? Share what I had for lunch? Nobody cares what I had for lunch. They want to care about the information, the people that we have on the show. All right, let me go because I want to make sure we're going to get back on track here. It's 12:41, and my next guest is new, but she's not new to me. Julia Stube, she's a gifted energy intuitive channel and teacher, specializing in assisting others to wholeness through self-empowerment. Audience, big round of applause. Julia, I apologize for being over. I'm a little en fuego today. It's what happens after the weekend. I get all bottled up of seeing people out in the streets. It makes me crazy.
Well, hello, Michelle. I am so excited to be here. I'm listening into all this, and it's like I take little takeaways from this, and then it's like, well, how could you do this energetically? How could you work with this stuff? And I have to go back to Betsy's thing and about it's none of my business. It's none of my business what other people think of me, because when you do that, you give your power away. So it's like, got to say that, because we don't want to give our power away, because we let other people's opinions rule our lives, and we don't want to do that. So I just wanted to follow up with Betsy's thing too. It's like, and
I appreciate that. That's what I love. There's when the partners of the platform, they listen to each other's segments, and then they kind of intertwine a central message about what is transpiring during the actual episode, and that's when the magic really happens, because it's almost like in a form of a group prayer, right? Because you're putting all this like-minded energy focused into one location, right? Our family room just happens to be virtually. Otherwise, if you guys all lived here, I'd say come in the studio. We'd all talk together, and then all of a sudden, some really amazing things transpire. So you're right on, and I believe the theme for the show, and you're kind of seconding the motion, is screw them, okay? Screw them.
Well, it's just about, setting your boundaries as far as that goes, and not allowing their opinions, because just like the other thing, like David was talking about money, it's like we're inundated with all these beliefs about money, and a belief is just somebody else's opinion. So we want to really clear those beliefs around money. So that's another energetic process that you can work with that ties into, another guest on your show. I was like, whoa, look at all this. This is so much fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to give everybody kind of a little brief plug for Julia. She was kind enough to give me a session, right? There was an energy session. She does it you can do it remotely, right? So she's,
correct.
We did it on the phone. Mm-hmm. Right? We did it on the phone. And there, a lot of stuff happened. A lot of things happened. And the issue that I was having, remember that I was telling everybody, some weird rash was on my face, and it was like your eyes are all swollen, and it was crazy stuff. And some of the stuff that she was trying to, energy healing, and then there's, you can explain it a little bit better than me, but it actually did. After a couple of days, it eased up and it started, but it goes back to finding all of these things that happened over different generations of family and also in your own life and everything. There's always that moment in childhood or something like that. So it was, it's just, it's fascinating, because if you can kind of find where an issue is and resolve it, then a different path or trajectory is then created. Do you want to explain that a little bit better in your terms as opposed to my kindergarten version of butchering it?
Well, kindergarten terms are fine. It's just that with when I'm facilitating a session, it's like the best thing for me to do is get out of my own way, because my connection with Source is I trust that. So I'm just a channel or a conduit for the energy or the information that comes through. And so I get information from your source that says, oh, look here, let's look at your 5-year-old, or let's go to do ancestral. It's like I had a new client. It was our first time, and she goes, I'm so excited. I don't know what to expect. And I said, I'm so excited, too. I don't know what to expect either, because I don't. I have no idea where a session's going to lead. We ask for your intentions. We put them on a clipboard, and we let Spirit or Source take over, because it's like I don't heal anybody. I just want to empower you to heal yourself. And if I claim that I'm a healer, then I limit the possibilities, because then it's just the way I see it happening, or that. And I don't want to take ownership of that. I want to hand it over to the universe and let awesome magic happen.
Well said. And that's probably the biggest thing is we all get in our own way, right? Because this is when you're doing one of these sessions, plus then you're thinking of things in a different light, right? Or we've always realized, it goes back to my analogy that I use about Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. We always have the power inside of us, right? We have the ability to communicate to whatever source that you want to communicate with, whether it's using law of attraction or the universe or God or whatever your source is. You have the ability to do this on your own, but we get in our own way, and we're following other people's beliefs with literally, as we've all found out now, most of the things that we've been told our whole lives by every single entity that's out there is a big fat lie, right? So we're unraveling truth everywhere we turn, because we're finding out all these things that are being held back from us because they don't want us to know, and we get in our own way. So, having these reminders, having somebody like Julie to facilitate a little bit of, knock on the back of the head going, hey, you got this. There's other, you just need to be shown how to do it differently, because what you've been doing all this time isn't working for you. But if everything's great for you, then don't bother. You know what I mean? Right, Julie? If everything's awesome for you, then don't change it. But find me one person that has that.
Well, we all have our own beliefs, and we all have our own reality. So it's about really honoring the power within you, because I believe God, the universe, however you want to say it, is within each and every one of us. And we hold that power, but we've been programmed not to embrace that power, to look outside ourselves for other people or other entities like archangels or whatever to help us, where we really just want to connect with the higher aspect of those archangels or that higher aspect of the knowledge within us to be able to allow us to heal ourselves. I don't heal anybody. I just am that conduit for the information, and it's like I just love to see the magic unfold and how it touches the ripples, touches people's lives, but I don't have an attachment to the results. It's like, because I want the universe or God, however you want to look at it, to be the one that assists you.
I love that you use the word conduit. That just really sums it up. That makes it all make sense for people, because especially it's about energy, conduit, right? Electricity. Julie, can you give your website real quick for everybody?
It's juliastube.com, JuliaStubbe.com, and you can access my YouTube channel from there. You can access my radio show, A Call to Heal, from there. It has links to everything. So that's your one-stop shopping place as far as that goes. And I do have one thing I did want to say, which has to do with the back. I do a monthly nano clearing, a nanotechnology clearing. That's the last Sunday of every month. And I give tips and stuff like that. And we go through your energetic field, and we clear the etheric and the physical nano out of your body and deactivate it.
Everybody can use a little nano clearing, and if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Just go do it and then figure it out. Who cares at this point? If someone's offering something and it's like, as long as they're not doing anything naughty, take advantage of it. Go give it a try. You have nothing to lose at this point. The world's coming to an end anyway. Go make the best of it while you can. Thanks for coming on, Julie. We'll talk to you next month. Thanks for a great session, and make sure that you send me the information for your show, and we'll add it to the must listen to page also. Thank you, my dear.
All right. Thanks for having me, Michelle. Bye.
You are welcome. All righty. So we are a little bit over. I'm 2 minutes over. I'm going to get it back on track here. There's just so much to share with you guys and so many things that are happening, so many things you need to know about. And I love to shove it in the middle. But for right now, literally the best thing you can do to make it easier, because we are censored all over the place on social media. I'm taking the show. We're going to be adding. I'm going to have to go back to more episodes per week, but that's just, you have no idea what it takes to put on a show like this. But the best thing to do right now at this point, because there's going to be so many amazing things and so many people we're bringing together on our new platform that we are we're out there, Save My Freedom, the Save My Freedom movement. Just get on the newsletter. Go to the newsletter. Everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. Sign up for that. You won't be bombarded. And it's not plugging out. It's giving you information literally that you're going to need to change everything in your life to make this place a better place. And us coming together as a community and as a group, like we're really coming together. So my next guest is a reoccurring guest. She's been on the show many, many a times. Christy Hutcherson. She is the founder of Women Fighting for America. They're pushing back on the daily attacks on our freedom, daily, hourly attacks, our freedom, and defending American values. And she's on a quest, ladies and gentlemen, to expose and end the sex slave industry. Audience, big round of applause. Hey, Christy Hutcherson, how are you today?
I'm good, Michelle. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I can only imagine what news you're going to share with us based on what you've already brought to the platform numerous times in the past.
Well, I'm currently right now out here on the front lines, as I typically am. I'm rarely home. I'm here in Arizona, and we are dealing with the border crisis from the human trafficking, child sex slave part of it, and also from the national security perspective.
Where are you in AZ? I'm in Scottsdale.
I'm actually in Scottsdale today. I have a meeting today with some individuals. I took a break. I was just came up from Yuma, and I also just came up from Cochise County. As you know, Yuma is possibly going to experience the influx of, they got 85,000 sitting in Mexico, getting ready to come and head this way. And within that 85,000 will be hundreds, well, not probably hundreds, thousands of children, unfortunately, who are earmarked to be sold in the United States, or their organs going to be harvested.
Oh, yeah. That's what our governor, Doug Ducey, is all about. He's part of that. He's part of the clan that's dealing with the drug smuggling, the people smuggling. So, of course, the borders aren't closed. And every single governor in this country can close the border immediately, never had to leave it open, because they have an obligation through the Constitution of their own state and through the federal government's Constitution, our Constitution, to protect our border from invasion. The Constitution gives them the power to do that. They choose not to. They do not have to listen to the federal government. And, no one seems to want to do that. That means because they're part of the problem and they are being compensated, or somehow they are being compromised. So if you ever hear any of the politicians, elected elites, tell you that we can't do anything, they're lying to you. They are lying to you through the Constitution, because that is all bull crap. They're lying.
Yeah.
They're lying.
Yeah, there is something they can do, and that's what we've been pushing for about a month now, is we need to put pressure. So every single one of your listeners, I don't care what state you live in, you need to be putting serious pressure on every single governor to shut and close the borders down now and not allow these illegals to be infiltrated into the state. Let them go to California. Let them go to New Mexico. Let them go to these blue states. Let them deal with it, because we're witnessing the destabilization of America as we speak. And even the National Guard, I get told all the time, Christy, but they've enacted the National Guard. Abbott's enacted it. I've been down there and I've seen the National Guard at work, and it's all a lie. The National Guard are doing nothing. As a matter of fact, we have them on videotape helping to facilitate coyotes bringing over trafficked individuals on tape. And just here in Arizona alone, I was in Yuma at the Gap. There's an area called the Gap. And it's a very dangerous area for the cartel to bring over those who have paid them to come over. We have a video of one of the cartel members with a gun on our soil, literally threatening us, telling us to stand down as they're bringing and infiltrating human trafficking. And nobody's there to do anything about it. As a matter of fact, our crew was the only ones facilitating them from infiltrating into the United States. And this is going on day in and day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now, and it's disgusting. And we need to put a stop to it.
Well, you know, it's exhausting for us because we've been talking about it on this show with people that are dealing like you on the front line since January. We even have hotels here that are getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. That hotel system, and I can't remember off the top of my head, the company out of Texas that is part of it.
Right here.
It's like Promises or Promises Renewed or something. They get a $625 million contract. That was the original one, not the second or third one because nobody talks about it anymore. Yeah. You bring them in, house them, spin them around, and send them all over the country. But that stuff started in January, February. We're in October. So could you imagine? It's because nobody's talking about it because they don't want you to know. And so the things that have already gone through, they're going through, it is just completely an invasion and a disaster, and it all could be stopped, like right now, and they choose not to. So the American people need to pull their heads out of the rear ends and realize that none of these people in elected positions are your friends. Anything that comes out of the government is bad. So you got to stop supporting them, stop funding their campaigns, and it's time for the people to do something because it's not going to come from anything that's going to come out of the government because they are part of the problem. Christy, I'm really excited about something. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I'm really excited about something. So as you know, Michelle, I've been at the border for a very long time, for over 6 months, looking at all of the different areas. And then with my private sector expertise, we've actually come up with a plan to help facilitate closing down our borders, to stop the drugs, to stop the illegal activities, terrorist murders, human trafficking, all of this stuff. And it's through a public-private partnership. I've assembled the dream team together, and doing it from a deputized state is not the answer. Doing it from a malicious state is not the answer because you're opening yourself up to serious lawsuits. There's a lot of, I've talked to legal attorneys all over, and that is not the way, no matter how desperate we are. But we have a private-public partnership. I rolled it out in Cochise County. I rolled it out with Commissioner Jessup here in Yuma County. They are so excited about this program. I'm going to be talking this week here. That's what I'm doing in Scottsdale, discussing this plan and trying to get the funding for it. So if you have any listeners who want to fund closing down our borders, because that's where the problem is. You have to figure out where the root for everything's coming from. That is where everything's coming from. When you stop the cartels in their tracks from their big business, billions of dollars a year that we're allowing because the administration, the governors are not shutting down our borders. We can do this properly, but it's going to take pressure, the solution. We need to get it funded, and we can stop all of these things from happening immediately. So I'm really excited that that's what I've been working on. I've been working with some amazing state reps here in Arizona, a couple of your senators, some sheriffs who are just amazing, and Texas as well. They've heard about what we're doing, and we need to get this thing funded. So they can go to WFFA.win, or you can take out your phones and text the word FIGHT to 91776. That's 91776, the word FIGHT. And let's do this together because we, the people, are the answer to stop the human sex trade, to stop the drugs coming to your children's neighborhood, to stop the illegals. We found prayer mats even here in the desert. We have terrorists, and we're going to have more and more soft targets. You're going to see more school shootings. You're going to see all of these things going down because it is a well-thought-out plan, and we are the answer. We've got to say enough is enough.
Oh, and I think it's going to get worse than that. I think you're going to see big, large groups popping into neighborhoods and causing big problems. So I think when we say invasion, I'm thinking it's going to be a heck of a lot worse than them just coming over the border because they're being distributed in certain cities all over the country. And then there's other components to that, which we obviously don't have time to get into now, but it's ugly stuff.
No, well, that's the deal. That's
the problem,
destabilization of our country right there.
That's
what they're destabilizing our economy. That is a whole nother subject, but the same thing with the private-public partnership. They're going to need us to go into these cities to pluck them out because that's exactly what they're doing. Look at Minneapolis, Minnesota. That was their test zone back under the Obama and latter part of Bush's administration. Look what it did, and that's what they're doing. That's why every governor needs to shut their borders down, their state borders down, and say we're not going to allow this. And I'm so glad you have a dear friend of mine who is like a brother to me, and that's Mike Miller, who's coming up next. And I just love him so much, and he's on the front lines like I am, doing the hard work.
Yeah, he's a great guy and a great character. And the one thing that I wanted to mention about the funding source, the part that is so warped, and people need to get their arms around this. You pay taxes every year. You pay property taxes. You pay taxes in your state. You pay taxes to the federal government, right? And you pay taxes on every single thing that you touch, you buy, whether it's a service, right, or you're paying taxes on an item that you purchase. And now we're going to have to go and find private money to go protect our border when they already have the money in the state and in the federal government that you've already paid into. Now, if you think that that's cool, then you know what, we've got lots of places that you could take your money and you might as well just light it on fire, because it doesn't make sense that we have to go do this. We have to go, they're already paid. And like in Arizona, they got something, and I haven't gotten the actual number because I've heard multiple things, like something like $20 billion from the feds to, for the fake COVID stuff, right? And I know that in Texas, they've gotten several billion just for the border, and they've done nothing. They've not spent any money on it because they don't want to fix the problem. So the money is not the problem. The money is in the wrong hands. And then, of course, there's strings attached, just like the COVID money, that if you touch it, then all of a sudden now you're being forced to implement the non-vaccine in any company that touches that money. So, yes, people, you need to get your arms around this reality. I know that you're busy taking the kids to soccer practice. I know that you're busy working. I know that you're busy networking, going to lunch, all that kind of fun stuff. But we're at a breaking point, right? And if you don't believe that, keep doing what you're doing. But then when you need help, the people that are on the front lines, we're not going to be able to help you. We're not going to be able to help you because you're going to already not realize that, oh, my God, there's no food at the grocery store, and I don't have any food at home because I didn't listen to people and get a couple months' worth of food in my house. So what I'm saying is this is unlike anything that we've ever experienced at any level, because it all literally can quickly happen at the turn of a conversation. And all they need at this point, because the infrastructure is done, right, Christy? The people are here. So it's and if you don't believe me, look
just
at
to the extent of this, Michelle, let me tell you something. Did you know that they brought in 85,000 more Afghan refugees into our nation already, in addition to what they already brought in? Did you know that?
But so the screwed up thing, Christy. Christy here. Why don't you remind the audience of this? Most of them are ages 18 to 29, which is military age men. They're called MAMs. So they're here, and guess where they're taking them? They're taking them to the military bases. You think that they're taking them there to feed them, to have them learn a trade, like how to wire a house? Oh no! Well, they're not just doing it there. No.
Well, why are they locking down these facilities literally like Fort Knox? Even in Yuma, Arizona, there's a border patrol where they house all of these illegals. It literally is Fort Knox. You can't get in, you can't get out. Even those who work, the sheriff, the commissioner, can't even get into that facility. And he's the police chief of Yuma County, and he can't even get in and have access to that facility. What are they hiding? They are hiding so much stuff from the American people. And let me tell you, this is not a conspiracy theory. You get your butts off your sofas, and you come and you see and you try, and they will shut you down. There is a serious problem going on in this nation, and they are coming after you. You are on a list. So at the end of the day, all of the money and all of your things, I look around every day, everyone's going about their business. They don't understand what's already here. This is serious, serious stuff that we're going to need to be completely on the offense and stop this now and put pressure, because unless you decide you're going to put serious pressure, it's never going to change. And the private sector is going to be the sector, and that's you, the people, by the way, who are going to be the ones who have to stand up and say, we're taking our country back and we're not going to allow this to happen. We have over 5 million by December, 5 million illegals come here, living here, breathing here, in your cities, affecting your children, bringing the drugs, bringing the sex trade on the streets, all of these things will affect your communities.
Yeah, that's if they don't come to your house, burn it down, or steal everything in it and rape, pillage, and things like that. That's what I'm saying. This is extreme.
It's already
this
happening.
Is war.
It's already happening.
It's happening in other
cities. They're not showing that.
Ew.
It's happening. I just got called in. They said people are dispersing. They can't catch them. They're breaking into people's homes and their backyards, running through their backyards. It's already happening. You're just not seeing it on the news. We are seeing, we've got videos, Michelle, of drug cartels killing people, chopping heads off. We just got intel that there's a whole entire warehouse just over the border in Mexico where there's hundreds of children who are bodies of little children, where they've gutted them and taken their organs and selling them. This is fact. This is reality, and it's ugly, and nobody wants to hear about it, because if you hear about it, then you have to do something about it, because if you don't do something about it, then you're probably not a good person. And people, it's easy to turn the other way, but this is what's going on.
Yeah, and it's coming. And it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. It will literally be in your community. Give the website one more time, Christy, would you?
Yes, please go to WFSA.WIN. That's Whiskey Foxtrot Alpha.win, or you can simply text the word fight to 91776.
Awesome. Thank you, my dear. And I'll call you after I finish this show. I just want to see if you need any other context for people that are here that I can help out with.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
You're welcome. Stay safe. Oh, what a good fighter. What a good fighter on the front lines getting things back on track. So it's 1:06. I'm a little over. So I'm going to do this. We are going to jump into Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox, and we'll do my other segment in between the two boys coming on the show. So can you guys cue the music? Cue the music. It's time for Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox. We got two special guests. Let's do this.
This is Everything Home's special segment. Messages that matter from people you need to know about. Heroes, do-gooders, and purpose-driven patriots. Offering tips, solutions, inspiration, and entertainment. They truly are good people doing good business and good things. Here's your host, Michelle Swinnick, the queen of quality content. Enjoy the show.
We've got two special guests for you. First up, Mr. Mike Miller. He is a speaker, citizen journalist, retired United States Air Force veteran, and the founder of Warriors for Ranchers. It's a grassroots organization that provides help to families who've been affected by the border crisis, or shall I say invasion. They've also taken a stand to fight against child sex trafficking. You know, the sex slave industry that we were just talking about with Christy. By the way, he hosts a very popular podcast called Warriors for America. Audience, good friend of mine. We need to give him a big round of applause for a God-loving, freedom-fighting, wonderful warrior. Hello, Mike Miller. How are you today, my friend?
Michelle, I am absolutely amazing. How are you doing today?
I'm fired up. It's been like that this whole show. It's just been in fuego. I hit the breaking points on the weekends when I go to do errands, and there's just insanity in the world. And then I listen to what some of these people are saying on TV, and it's just like, whoa, we know when you know too much, it's not good. Then you can't sleep, and you want to do something about it. You want to fight for it. You want to get things back on track, but we just got to shake enough people and then bring the people together that are actually on the same page, that there's hope for. Because there's a bunch of people out there, there's no hope for them, right? Like there's some people that they're just going to put on that dirty mask. They're going to go ahead and think that the world is just a great place, that the Biden Nazi regime is doing an awesome job, and they've gotten the vaccine, the booster, and the flu shot. Can't help those people, but we can help the people that actually want to pay attention, that are willing to do something, that are ready to fight and stand up for this country. And thankfully, we've got people like you that are kind of leading the pack, because we always need the leaders and the fighters. So, Mike, tell me a little bit about. I don't want to focus too much on the the whole story, because everybody listening to you here knows you very well, because you've been on a couple times.
Absolutely, they know me.
I want to talk about current stuff, because you are out there talking to these groups and dealing with literally the chaos, and especially your ranch. They're running through your they're running through your ranch. Like there's bodies and there's people running and shooting at you. This is insane
sure. And
in
now
America.
I can't even say the ranch name anymore on any podcast or anything. It's been requested from my business partner for safety reasons.
Wow.
Yes, those things are true. And so I went out and I started researching and started, documenting. And just the stuff that's taken place is absolutely crazy. So I recovered some cell phones. And in the cell phones, a lot of the things that I heard Christy talking about previously is, there are warehouses and there are those things that are happening. Adrenochrome is real. Folks, they're beating the crap out of these kids to get their adrenaline levels so high that they can actually get what they consider a quality drug. So when the adrenaline makes it into their bloodstream, they withdraw it out of these children. There's lists that I have unanimously gotten emails from that show ages, date of birth, names, inmate IDs. And I've got to get this information vetted to see if it's actually real. But it's so many names and so many IDs, and they're all numbered different in a sequence. And it makes me believe it's real. And I need to get the proper authorities and people involved to find out where this harvesting is taking place. These children are disappearing. I mean, we've seen it here in Texas. It's been asked to the Border Patrol and the Department of Public Safety and the individuals. But I'm going to say this. When you go to the border and you watch the National Guard communicating to the cartel, like their friends, that's very concerning, wouldn't you think? And they have lights. So they have a red light and a green light. And when the green light's showing, of course, people are going to come across the river. When there's a red light, that means don't. So the cartel and our National Guard, that's correct, our National Guard is communicating to the cartel. They are talking to them in Spanish. They are making jokes across the river. People's lives are being exploited. People are being murdered. They're being gutted. We found decapitated children. And just recently, we found a 2-year-old toddler and a baby in a car seat that was dumped like garbage in Eagle Pass, Texas. So what's happening, I had a Swedish journalist, left-leaning Swedish journalist, interviewing me, and I met her in Hondo, Texas. And when she was interviewing me, she was really pushing this humanitarian crisis BS. That's exactly how I feel about this. Is there a humanitarian crisis? There is a percentage of this is a humanitarian crisis. The rest of this is planned terrorism. It's planned terrorism. We have video of the cartel escorting a high-priced target in Arizona, and my friends were filming it. He put his hand on his weapon, and he was going to draw his weapon and kill my friends for filming, and he told them to throw their phones down. Instead, they ran and got away, and they didn't get shot. The cartel is controlling this narrative. It is a $22 million a day business smuggling human bodies. But see, the people are being used as the deterrent, the distraction. So if they know that there's X amount of Border Patrol agents or X amount of security on the border, they're going to run as many people over there as they can. And while they're busy processing people, they're smuggling the drugs and running the children and the high-priced targets elsewhere. Here in Texas, when we are along the border from Eagles Pass, Del Rio, Roma, La Jolla, Hidalgo, all these different points. See, Christy came into town with me, and we drove the whole thing. We had security with us. We covered the whole border. But what we're learning is when we have a presence in these areas, the cartel's going to change up what they're doing. So on the next trip I went down, they were coming through cornfields. And in these cornfields is when we're going down the highway, we see 50 people and 20 kids, and the kids are running out into the highway. And so we slowed down, and we were asking the people, "Donde eres?" where are they from? And they were like, "Honduras." I was like, "I hablo English." And one guy goes, "Sí." And we asked them, "Do you guys have a ride? How'd you get here?" As we were talking to them, the cartel was noticed 2 rows of corn back in a white pickup truck, raise their weapons up at us, and they've got a thermal optic. And the thermal optic's not like a flashlight, but there's like a halo of light that you can see, and that is their equipment allowing them access to get a better vision or an aim at us. So we managed to step on the gas and get the hell out of there. But the fact is, the cartel was waiting for their ride. They get paid when these people get safe transition into our country. And these folks aren't free when they get here. They're putting them in stash houses. So the child sex trade, the drug smuggling, the murder. I spoke in Kerrville, Texas yesterday. Texans are rising up. There's like 400 people in that room. We had law enforcement. We had private security organizations. We had chair people for the city. We had counselors for the city counselors. And all the folks were there. And they're all pissed because they see that no matter what we do as a people trying to do it legally through the Constitution, it's lawless. Nobody's helping. So all these organizations are looking at what can they do legally to stand up against this, because they're not going to stand for their families like Christy was talking about. They're breaking into houses. They're robbing people. They're stealing their cars. They're killing their livestock and eating it. So goat farmers recently called me this week. 2 of their goats were taken, and the illegal immigrants used them for food. They cut them up. They cut the meat out, and they find their carcasses elsewhere, but you could tell it was a straight-edge blade that cut it up. So they're harvesting livestock now. It's unreal. It's unreal, Michelle.
Well, it's stealing. It's crimes. It's illegal aliens. Just coming across is illegal. But yet, like you said, it's lawless. There is no enforcement. And the governor, your governor, even though he appears to be, Mr. I'm so pro Texas, I'm so pro America, he talks out of both sides of his mouth. So one minute he says one thing, and then the other minute he does something, or he actually passes. Like we were talking about that policy that he passed, where he's like, oh, well, in the public says, I'm going to arrest everyone that comes over here, and we're going to do it as trespassing. And then on the other side of the mouth, he passes some sort of policy that says, well, but if you come across and you say your family status, it could even be cousins, or boyfriend and girlfriend, then we'll have to turn you over border patrol because you're actually related, which is a crock, because and there's no proof of all these cousins when there's 10 Muslim terrorists standing and going, we're cousins, and you're like, oh, okay, well then we can't do it. So we know that that's what they do. They play these games. So it's almost like, what have you come up with? Because Christy was mentioning that they've got a plan, right? They've got some sort of a plan that's in place. Well, what are you guys coming up with when you're going to all these meetings, these organizations, and with the groups, and even some of the local law enforcement? And I can only imagine if there's any quote unquote elected elites that show up at these things, because they don't seem to want to pick a lane or stand up for the American people. What are you guys coming up with together of what is going to happen? Because this can't keep going on, but you've got the big bad everything against us all at the same time.
So we have a website for Kinney County, Texas called defendoutrborders.net. Oh, defendoutrborders.org. Excuse me, defendoutrborders.org. We're raising money because currently right now we have some constitutional sheriffs in Texas. And they are working to create a plan to secure – they have 6 deputies in that town. That's it, 6. And a sheriff. And they're overwhelmed with what's happening. They're not getting state help. And when state help was offered by DeSantis, Governor Abbott turned them away. We were offered 3 sheriffs, and that came with 18 deputies. So each sheriff, I believe, had 6 deputies with them. DeSantis offered his people to help Texas. And Governor Abbott said, we don't need your help. Send them back. When we actually absolutely need their help. When we had all the demonstration of DPS, which was powerful, our Department of Public Safety officials created a wall with their DPS vehicles. And that was in Del Rio. But when they took all those DPS agents to create one wall in that area, the rest of the areas were unpoliced. And that created a problem because people were getting film of these trucks hauling drugs. And because of the amount of illegal immigrants coming into Texas, they cut down and shut Border Patrol checkpoints. So the checkpoints where they inspect with the dogs and the people, but they were undermanned and understaffed, and they closed down a checkpoint I haven't seen closed, in 11 years. I actually just drove straight down the highway because the checkpoint was coned off. Never, ever have I seen that. So that means that anybody smuggling drugs or people had a free pass-through. And that lasted for a little bit because they were so busy down there. What I want you to know is Mayorkas, our Secretary of Homeland Security, comes into town, and they clean up the mess every time he comes into town. And I want everybody here listening to this They are covering up like that. When the Department of Homeland Security comes down to do his speech behind the pedestal to tell you guys they got it under control, it's absolute BS. And I also want you guys to know that they use the Del Rio Independent School District buses to move these illegal immigrants who are infected with COVID, the Delta variant, HIV, AIDS, and a bacteria that causes permanent blindness on school buses, and took the kids to school in them the next day. Probably didn't get a chance to sanitize them when they're moving people throughout the middle of the night. Now, this is a living petri dish under that bridge of all kinds of sickness. So Weston Martinez and I held a press conference at the Texas State Capitol regarding a federal law that's in place. I believe it's Code 49 UN 2814. That code states that it is against the law to transport any type of infectious bacteria on buses. Ebola is considered infectious. The first civil penalty is $88,000 and some change. If there's death involved, it's $196,000 for every occurrence of death. COVID-19 has been considered one of the most deadly bacteria in America. That law needs to be enforced. We took it to the Department of Transportation, the Department of Public Safety, and we're trying to force the governor's hand to abide by the law. They are using these buses to transport illegal immigrants that don't even belong here, who came across illegally, who are saying they're from Haiti, and majority of them have IDs from Chile. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they're throwing their IDs on the border side. This is coordinated crime. This is planned terrorism. This is an invasion, and it's a drug war. I could continue to go on. It is the biggest crimes in American history, and people need to be held accountable for being stupid. And that starts at the White House.
Well, the problem is no matter what laws they're violating, the people that are supposed to uphold what those laws are not unable to do so. And then you say, okay, we'll take it to the courts. Well, then the courts are corrupt, and they're not siding with the law, just like with these fake mandates, right? It's against the law to mandate, but yet they're sure. just throwing things out of court. You're going. This is literally lawlessness from every direction. So the American people, and they end up being helpless as the country literally is being imploded from the inside out by design. And it's
sure.
it angers people. I mean, the fact that and this is what I was saying with Christy, the fact that you have to raise money for the organization that you put together to protect the borders, and even in the defendoutrborders.org, to work with the county down there, because you don't have enough support, when we know Abbott's sitting on billions of dollars to protect the border, right? So he was just given that as well, right. money to probably pay for buses, probably pay for clothes and the food and the cell phones and everything else to help with bringing in more bodies. Remember, every time you see them on TV, they're the whitest white shirts I've ever seen, Papes, and you can't tell me any of those people walked here. You know, you got like 80,000 people just showing up. They didn't walk 1,200 miles. They were driven on buses and trains or whatever, and then just put, right just before wherever the cameras can't see them. Then they said, okay, go ahead and walk. Because you don't have white like that on any shoes and clothes, fresh makeup, bling on your cell phones. I mean, come on. We just need to realize, as you said, it has nothing to do with humanitarian. The humanitarian part is when they come here, when they actually take the kids and they kidnap them, they harvest their organs, they're using the adrenochrome, and then they're part of the sex slave trade. Okay, that's the human crisis. And that is what happens once they get here, not getting here. And, it's got to be frustrating on your end because you keep running into blockades, brick walls, right? You just
so let's talk about the latest.
And it's getting worse. But your stories, Mike, I just want to share this real quick. Your stories have gotten more detailed, and they've gotten worse over the past couple months that you've been coming on. And we've been following the border steps since January and had multiple people on. But I can tell you, sure. you and Christy's stories are getting worse. And that's not good because
they're getting worse, and the amount of death is worse. While I was speaking in Kerrville, there was a murder in Matamoros, Mexico. So at the very moment I'm on the stage, my phone got a text message, and the guy that was filming while I was talking saw the picture. So it was a cartel member that was trying to hurt other people, and he got shot. You know, he was trying to kill other people, but he got shot. And I mean, it was a bloodbath. I mean, the amount of blood he lost was crazy, but it showed him buckle over and bleeding out. But law enforcement got a hold of him. But it was a shootout in Matamoros, Mexico. Matamoros was a vacation destination for a lot of people years back in Mexico. A great place, you know. You'd see the little kids with boxes of bubble gum running into the restaurant trying to sell them to you for as much as they could. And I would just give those little kids chicle. I know, chicle. And I would give him I would give them $20 and I'd tell them to keep their bubble gum. And they would come in dressed in like little suits. They had like their Sunday clothes on, you know, and they were just the cutest kids ever. But can you imagine now they can't get out and have fun. They can't earn money like that from tourists coming in because tourists are afraid to go there. So then Ken Paxton held a town hall in Bracketville, and I went to what was called the Cowboy Roundtable, and we got to listen to Ken Paxton. And I believe Ken is wanting to do the best things for Texas, and he's filed 27 lawsuits against the Biden administration. Later that evening at 7 o'clock, we had a town hall with hundreds of people. And I'm listening to Ken and his team speak, but what I know that he's talking about and what these people want wasn't happening. So I stood up and I spoke out. And I said, no disrespect to all of you guys on this panel. Every one of you guys are amazing attorneys. I said, but litigation's not going to stop a bullet. Right. These people are here because they want answers. And I spoke out and I raised my voice, and that helped other people find their voice. And this little lady goes up and she goes, what am I going to do if I need to defend myself on my property? Am I going to go to jail if I have to hurt somebody who's an imminent danger to my life? And this is exactly what they said. If a guy were to come onto her property and trespass, okay, so he's illegally on her land, and he stands 20 feet from her and he pulls a knife out of his pocket and says he's going to kill her, that's not enough probable cause for her to shoot him. She has to wait till he is in life-threatening distance, which is 1 or 2 feet, because that knife blade might only be 5 inches long. These people are having to assess that crap for real. So she has to wait until the point where he's in a point where he could kill her, and then it's okay for her to pull the trigger. She might get away with it without having to go to jail. But if she pulls the trigger to defend herself any time earlier, it's committing murder. You see what I'm saying?
Keep in mind,
because they can use the knife to taint people.
And you listen, and this is I want people to listen to this because Mike, you've been in this situation too, or at least a lot of people that you're. It's one bullet doesn't kill somebody. If you're lucky enough that it pops, maybe if they happen to hit them in the head in the right exact spot, yeah, but they could still come at you. And it usually takes, if you watch any of these, when they'll replay a shooting on television. Sometimes it's like 7, 8, 10, 15 times before the person goes down. That lady doesn't stand a chance if they're going to make it so that she's got to be 1 or 2 feet in front of her. And the fact that they happen to be in a conversation, and that's the law. It's just insane. You know what? Mike, we've got to have you back on. You and I got to chat. We've got to have you come on more often with these updates. So can you give your website and plug your podcast real quick?
Yes, and I want to plug an event as well.
Yeah.
So the event coming up real quick is Liberty Conference. It's on the 22nd and 23rd at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah. I want to ask all of you guys to show up. Let's pack that house. There's going to be amazing speakers there. General Michael Flynn will be there. Lee Dundas will be there. Doug Billings, the right side, is going to be there. We're going to have a lot of amazing speakers there. Dr. Simone Gold. You can go to wecanact.net and use promo code Warriors, all capital, get a discount on your tickets. My website is warriorsforranchers.com, and you can send money to me via Venmo at Warriors for Ranchers. And I have a plan, and I want to share this with you guys. We set out to raise $120,000. And now we've raised enough to where we're at $108,000. We still need to raise. So we've raised roughly $12,000 in the last week. This money is going to be used to expose this nationwide. And so I'm going to have a team of security. And people go, why do you need $120,000? Security's $3,000 a day, $21,000 a week, $42,000 2 weeks, $84,000 a month just in security. The rest is going to be used for air travel and getting this exposed and getting it to every America First candidate that can help expose this and hopefully get impeachable information against this Biden administration. So warriorsforranchers.com. You can also send funds to Venmo at Warriors for Ranchers. And Michelle, it's always a pleasure being on your show. You get the greatest guests, and you are the queen of quality content.
I love you, Mike. I love the plugs, and I love being on your show, too. Thank you, and you're very welcome. And for anyone that's listening, Mike gave you a bunch of websites to go to. But, yes, guess what? Guess what? We solved the problem. The event that he just talked about is listed on our live events page. And anyone that is virtually the streaming events, they're on our virtual events page. And then Mike and his organization is one of our participating nonprofit organizations. So you can find them on our must follow and join page, which has the groups, the nonprofit organizations, the influencers, all the people that you need to be paying attention to, the messages that matter from the people that you need to know about, and even the community groups that you can join. Like Christy, her group is on there too. So that way you can find all these people. We are sticking them all in one place and getting everybody to work together so that nobody's standing alone, because the only thing that's going to work is going to be us all coming together, because it's not going to be our government. It's not going to be our elected elites. And it's not going to be the law, because that's not on our side. So, Mike Miller, thank you so much, my friend. I'm looking forward to having you on. And then, of course, we're going to be doing some appearances when I co-host, or actually it's guest. I'm co-guesting. Well, guesting? No, I am guest hosting. There we go. I am guest hosting over on brighthand.tv for America Unhinged. That's Dr. John Diamond. And Mike Miller will be joining me as my special co-host on the first part of the show over on the next week. He's going to be reporting live from the event that he just mentioned, and that'll be brighthand.tv at 9 a.m. Eastern Time next Friday, the 22nd. So Mike is going to be a roving reporter. We're going to have a great segment. So thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Mike Miller, Warriors for Ranchers. You're the best, my friend.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a great day.
You too. Before we bring on my next special guest in Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox, Dr. Eric Napute, I needed to give you your business tip for the day. Let's get down to business. All righty, everybody. For the past week, Pete Vargas with Advance Your Reach, if you haven't heard about him and his platform, he's the one behind all of the people that actually go on the big platforms, right? He's the one who is the first one who changed everything from being on a stage to virtual back in March of 2020. So everybody that you, almost everybody that you see that goes out in personal empowerment, or whether it's business advice, even the celebrity, the famous people like the Tony Robbins. I don't like to do that example, but I'm just trying to give you the category of somebody that you'd recognize. That's all. Pete does that. Pete's been doing that for like 20 years, right? So we actually had the head of his Advance Your Reach division, right, when it comes to the different speakers, and that's Dolores Hirschman. She was on the show, and it escapes me the episode because I just thought of this now. She was on the show. We're going to have her back on to talk about Advance Your Reach and the amazing things and programs that they have. But for the past week, they've gone live every day for about 3.5 hours and had a whole bunch of headliners on there to give you all this information, all this advice, and to sell different packages of what they're doing and combining it together. And they're doing it for charity. They do it once a year for charity. And it's all about building your platform, controlling the mic, and changing the world. Okay, I've only had a chance to watch 2 shows. I watched it on Saturday and I watched it on Sunday. Literally, the information that I had on Saturday from the guest that he had literally changed my life in regards to my attitude and a couple of the missing puzzle pieces. I've never heard of the people that were the ones that actually made that happen for me. So that's what I'm saying, okay, I'm going to get them on the show so that you can have that same experience, and you can have that as a resource here, that you know that you can rely on this kind of a platform that you can find those people. I mean, I probably won't be able to get them on once a month, but if I can get them to come on a couple times, every couple months, like at least I got Dr. Brian Artist to come on. He's been on twice. There's been multiple guests that come on a lot, right? This is the more the headliners, if that's what you want. You want to give me headliners, but is it the guys, the people that aren't headliners on this show? Some of them are better than the headliners, okay? So don't shy away from the peeps you don't know, because you don't have to know the people. It just matters on if they connect with you, and it's the information, and it could be the timing, too. It could be that's what you needed to hear. And that's why it resonated. I took 8 pages of notes just on Saturday's shows alone. So the show that the presentations, they're still on YouTube for maybe a day or 2. So if you want my notes, I'm going to put my notes into like an ebook I think I'm going to put them in like a little ebook because this stuff's unbelievable, okay? I got 8 pages of notes. So I'm going to put that information into a little ebook, and then I'm going to actually start selling the information that's in the ebook. Amongst a lot of these other shows, I'm putting this stuff together so you can easily have the information and make it really, really cheap, but that way you can grab it. You don't have to listen to the full episodes. You don't have to take your own notes. We're going to do it for you because why not? Why would I not do that? It's already here. It's in my head. I've got notes. The amount of information that is sitting literally on this website, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of content. But I'm going to transform it, make it easy for you. And I'm going to have to sell it, right, because it's going to cost me money to do that. So that's what I'm doing is we're recouping the costs. And I'm making it easier for you so you don't have to listen to the whole thing, take your own notes. We're going to do it for you. But in this case, I'm going to give you, if you sign up for the newsletter, and by this time I want you to send me an email so I know that's the specifically way you want it. I'm going to send you these notes for free. I'm going to send you the notes once I have them put together. I'm going to send them to you for free because this will change your life and this will change your business. That's your business tip today. Your other business tip is I normally send out all kinds of incredible free information to just the partners on this platform through the newsletter. They have a special newsletter. So you guys that sign up for the newsletter have a newsletter, and then the partners, because I'm constantly giving them marketing tips and resources and free information to go get themselves on different podcasts and different shows and way to get their message out for free, and other resources from other people. It's all free stuff. It's all free stuff. But you just got to know where to look. You got to know where to go. So I normally put that in the partners or email newsletter, but I will offer that to anybody who wants to become a part of that partner list, even if you're not one of the partners and been on the show, and we can get you to come on the show. I can do that. I'm the host. I'm the producer. I can do that. But you got to tell me who you are, what you do, and you want to be a part of it. That's all. Because I can't keep finding you. Come to me. Let's make it easy. Make it easier for me to promote you. Come to me. Because otherwise I got to find you. And it's a little bit harder to find you. So come here. Be my friend. That's all I'm asking. So send me an email. Send me an email, Michelle@passionprojects.org, Michelle@passionprojects.org. And you can also go to the website, everythinghometalkshow.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. It all gets to the same place. If you go to the media and cool stuff tab, it's a contact page. Shoot me an email. It's the best way to get my attention. I'm not going to wrap this up because I got to bring on Dr. Eric Napute. Dr. Eric Napute. You're going to love this guy. You probably have already heard him. But you're going to love them anyway because you want to hear more than one time. The information's got to sink in. Plus, they always give you new stuff when they come on the shows. Shoot me an email. In the subject line, just write, what are we going to do? We're going to do, put platform, Platform, platform. So you do that. I'm going to send you the notes for free that I've taken. It won't be 8 pages long. Trust me. It'll be user-friendly. That way you can reflect on it, use it. And I'm going to send you that information. I'm going to also add you to the partner list. We're going to get all this free information all the time. When I send it out, I'm trying to do it once a week, and we'll be able to try to do it even more often. I'm going to send one this week. I'll probably send it on Wednesday. So you want to make sure you shoot me that email so you can get on that list. All right, so that is your business tip. There's like 4 business tips in there, but all literally can change everything. So Pete's doing one more day, which is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the last day. Go to advance your reach on Facebook, even though I hate to promote Facebook. And then the other one's YouTube. Ooh, gosh. But anyway, just send me the send me the email. I don't have time to list it on the website because it's going to be gone tomorrow, or the actual live link. So anyway, contact me and shoot me the email, and I'll get you there. Now, real quick, since we're talking about promos, we're talking about promoting yourself. I got to plug our program. Someone's got to pay the bills around here. Someone's got to pay for this show. So we have to have a product or service, right? So not only do we have our marketplace, but I want you to go check out our marketplace, but we've got our promos for a purpose program. That's how you stand out from your competition. You stay top of mind. You promote your business. We do everything for you. Everything for you. You become a purpose-driven business, which means you have a brand, which means you stand out from your competition. We give you all the marketing tools. We put you together. I mean, it is extensive. You got the press release. You got the media one sheet. You've got the interview. You've got all the materials, and they're part of the community. And you're on the show multiple times, and you get a commercial. And then it's loaded with information. Plus, you have a new group of friends, which is the nonprofit you partner with. All right, I'm going to just play the commercial. It's an everything done for you program. It is cheaper. It is half the cost of 1 month of hiring a PR company. Why would you do that? Why would you do it? Come to us directly. We'll do everything for you. Plus, you're going to have materials. You're going to have all this stuff. You're going to have the exposure. And it's half the cost of 1 month when they normally want you to be 3. I love the PR companies. It's great, but it's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't have that kind of money. So this is how you do it. This is how you get your information out there. This is how you make new friends. It's all about relationships, collaboration, the collaboration concept. Our collaboration concept is all about partnerships, relationships, and promotion. Take a listen to this, and then I got to bring on the good doctor.
Promosforapurpose.com. Did you know 63% of consumers prefer to buy from purpose-driven brands and businesses that reflect their own values, beliefs, and support charitable causes? Promos for a Purpose provides business owners with ways to support worthy causes and promote their brands at the same time with its comprehensive done-for-you marketing and media program. Visit www.promosforapurpose.com for more information. Promosforapurpose.com.
Promos for a Purpose helps you stand out from your competition and stay top of mind by promoting your purpose made easy. It's our everything done for you, purpose-driven business partnership and marketing experience, which provides small business owners, entrepreneurs, service providers, and corporations with ways to support charitable causes and promote their brands at the same time. Promos for a Purpose gives your brand something to believe in and makes it easier than ever to join this new purpose-driven model and movement, which is transforming how businesses operate, market, and serve customers, clients, and the community. Just click the Promos for a Purpose tab on our website, everythinghomeresourceplatform.com, to get all the information. We'd love for you to become a part of our community as a purpose-driven business so we can help you grow and share why you are the best at what you do. It's time your story is heard. Well, let me bring in my next guest. He doesn't really need an introduction because everybody knows who he is, but I'm going to give it to him anyway. Dr. Eric Naputi. He is a licensed primary care provider in Missouri, the CEO of 6 major wellness centers. I don't know how he has time to even go on shows. Labs, a health-based media company, an international nutrition and education company. And this is the best part. During the height of the political propaganda pandemic in 2020, Dr. Naputi released a video that had over 30 million views suggesting that people take vitamin D and zinc, oh my God, like supplements and nutrients and things that our body, our immune system can just boost that, our God-given immune system. What a novel concept. And to thank him for helping so many people. Our tyrannical government has fined the good doctor $8 million and put a gag order on him because he violated some law that they made up. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Dr. Naputi has been busy touring the country and speaking at many of the health and freedom conferences, and somehow he finds time to host Real Talk with Dr. Eric Naputi on Brighteon TV. Audience, a big round of applause for a fabulous freedom-fighting, truth-telling, COVID-crushing health hero.
I love it. Michelle, it's so great to hear your voice. I love your energy. I'm telling you, you are just doing a great job. Thanks for getting the truth out and giving me an opportunity to say hey, and I love being with you. So let's get into it, young lady.
Sounds like a plan, and I appreciate the compliments. We just got to fire everybody out. We got to deliver the truth because they're getting lied to anytime they turn around, and they got to learn. They got to go, and you got to censor the bad stuff and bring in the good stuff. Because if you're not listening to doctors like Dr. Eric Naputi, whether it's on his show, other shows that he's on, or taking his advice, things aren't going to go well, right? So we just got to, you got to follow these doctors that are providing the information that is going to help you and give you the truth. So you've got so much to share. What do you think is the most important that you want to deliver now? Because every time you turn around, something new comes out. Somebody's got new information.
Well,
and, you're on the front lines.
We are. And I'll tell you this, I just want to encourage everybody to be as patient as you can and know that this too shall pass. There's a great opportunity that's happening in the world right now. We are finally at an opportunity. We've been there for a little while, but we're getting more and more people woken up to it. They're realizing that, hey, listen, maybe the government isn't really doing what it's supposed to be doing. Maybe there is a problem in the healthcare space, that it's not so much health or care that I thought it was. Maybe big tech and the TV is not necessarily telling me all the things that I need to know, and maybe I need to wake up and take personal responsibility for me, my health, my wealth, my finances, my family, and et cetera. People are really, truly, the Great Awakening is happening. It's not a great reset. It's a great awakening. And this is a spiritual thing that's happening, Michelle. And we now know that it's not about right or wrong. It's not about even common sense versus sense, which is what I thought it was. This is truly about good versus evil. And what we, the people, need to do is we need to keep killing the spirit of fear. And that's exactly what we should be working on, is killing the spirit of fear. And how do we destroy the spirit of fear? It's not difficult. We need two things. We need faith and we need facts. That's it. And every day keeps coming out more and more and more facts about we were right about this whole thing. Listen, folks, I don't care who you are. Masks don't stop the spread of the disease. I don't care who you are. These vaccines aren't doing what people said they were going to do. They went from 95% effectiveness, which was a bold-faced lie at the beginning because they talked about relative risk versus absolute risk, which is totally two different things. And now we're finding, as of last week, we've seen reports that Pfizer has now come out on their own accord and said, hey, we're lucky to have 47% effectiveness of reducing symptomatology. It's not going to stop the spread of this virus or stop keeping people from spreading it to others. So there's so many things that are out there that are dis and misinformation. And I think it's funny, if you haven't read, Orwell's novel, you really should read it because we're basically living it right now. We've got thought police. We've got the, if you remember the Ministry of Truth that was in Orwell's novel, what did they do? All they did was lie. The Ministry of Peace, all they did was want you to go to war. We're experiencing that right now. It's a very crazy time to be alive, but it's also a very exciting time to be alive, Michelle. And I just want everybody to understand that you are getting to witness history in the making. You're now seeing a small group that's now turned into a large group of individuals stand up and say, no, this is not right. This is not okay. And I'll tell you, we've been having the tipping point. And then all of a sudden, my opinion, once they lied to us about our children, they told us all summer long that we were going to let you go back to school and we were not going to impose any more draconian measures and lock kids down and muzzle them with masks and all this stuff. And we said, good, because look, we know that IQs are down between 20 to 30 points from 2020 to 2021. We know that anxiety, depression, and suicide is up off the charts with these young kids. Thank you for not doing that. And then when they did it again, when they tried to make 2021 a rinse and repeat, and then when the school boards told the parents, especially the mama bears, they told the mama bears out there that, listen, you need to be a second-class citizen to your kids' health or your kids' education. It's up to us, the government and the school, to make the decisions of what we're going to teach them. And by the way, moms and dads, we don't want you to have control of your kids. That was the most idiotic thing they could have done. They finally pushed the Americans to the point where we said enough is enough. And we're standing up in droves. And we're pushing back. There's lawsuits and victories that are happening all over this great nation, but yet you don't hear about them because the lamestream media is bought and sold and paid for. And the same thing is true. You don't get to hear all the wins and victories that we're getting in the COVID world because the big pharma owns medicine. But I'm here to tell you that's changing. It's already starting to change, Michelle. And we, the people, and we, the parents, have got to continue to stand. And that's it. That's all we have to do. We just have to keep pushing back little by little and sit back and watch this house of cards fall. It's falling, but the key is this. We must never, ever, ever let anyone forget moving forward once we correct this ship, once we right all the wrongs, once we the people stand back up and make America what it's supposed to be. We put God back in government, God back in schools, and God back in everything. We can never, ever let this happen again. So, Michelle, I'm excited to be here with you. There's so much that we can talk about. There's so many victories that are happening with all the lawsuits that are filing across the country and the businesses that are stepping up and pushing back. But the problem is that most people don't know where to look to get their information. And if they're trying to turn on the TV to get it, forget it. You're wasting time. All that is propaganda. And if you're waiting to be rescued by a man, it's not about that. It's not about one man coming to rescue you. It's not about a president coming back or one person standing up or what. It's about we the people. Once we get control again, that's when greatness is going to be coming all over this nation and all over this world. So much we can talk about, Michelle. I just want everybody to stay strong and hold the line. That's what they need to do.
I think that was a great way to open the segment because not only did you bring a dose of reality You reassured them that we're on the right track. You gave them some positive reinforcement. And you said, by the way, guys, keep going. You got to keep going. You know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And just because you have a couple wins doesn't mean you stop, because they're not going to stop. The other side's not going to stop. Whether you call it the elected elites, you're calling it the Joe Biden Nazi regime is what I refer to the entity as, right? The ones that are causing most of these problems. Whether it's big pharma or you got Anthony Fauci lying through his teeth every single time he gets near a camera, but none of those going to stop. And the demons and Satan's not going to stop. And you want to call it the shadow government, you want to call it the globalists, whatever. None of those people are going to stop. Nothing is going to stop them. So we got to keep going. We got to keep going, and you got to arm yourselves with the information. That's correct, right? Good thing is on our platform, we made it easy. Not only do we have the must follow and join groups and influencers. We're going to add Dr. Naputi to that, because I don't like to add people until they come on, right? Because then we have their show showcased on the COVID Facts tab page where you have all the episodes, and then you can easily click on his banner that gets to his website, so you can find him, so you can even buy some of the products that he's got, because you got to build your immune system, right? You got to be strong in order to fight, because they're going to be throwing other types of quote-unquote variants at you. God only knows what other bioweapon of this demonic syringe that they're going to be having at you. So you got to be prepared, and you got to have the right information. So you got to listen to his show. You got to be listening to Brighteon.tv. You got to be listening to this show, because we're bringing you all this information. We're just jamming it in like an hour to 2 hours. And also keep in mind, you're talking about the media. You got to turn off the TV. Fox News is a bunch of frauds and liars, so don't even bother listening to that. And you need patriotic media that's going to deliver the truth. Oh, I made a page with that. There's only like 30 different publications, and we keep adding more, and that's on the patriotic media tab. You go to the Take Action tab. Everything's under the Take Action tab, so that way you can find Dr. Eric Naputi's information, because you're like, God, what was that website he mentioned? I don't remember what he said. Just go to the Take Action tab. Everythinghomeaboutus.com. Everythinghomeaboutus.com. And the reason why I threw that out there, Dr. Eric Naputi, I don't want to tap into your time, and it's not about a shameless self-promotion plug. It's because the resources are here. So, and I want people to be aware of that, so they don't get it from the wrong places, and they also then they have more confidence when they listen to somebody like yourself to be reassured that what they're doing is right. And then these are the groups that they need to be getting a part of, where they have the information to go and arm themselves, not figuratively, literally. No, other way around. You know, like on Willy Wonka, you scratch that, start again, switch it. So they have that information, so they can go into the battlefield, whether it's verbally or, even if you're, physically showing up and somebody it's just throwing lies at you. You're in a parking lot and somebody's like, "Where's your math?" You're like, "This is insane." So I know that was a lot, but I wanted to get it out there, because if it wasn't for people like you who were brave enough back when this was all new to start all of this and get the truth, and now you got them coming after you, lawsuits and gag orders and things like that, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I want to say thank you for being to risking all of your stuff, your business, your family, your life, your reputation, everything on the line, because if it wasn't for people like you that stood up, we wouldn't come this far and literally have changed the world in a good way. We're not finished yet. So mouthful, but needed
Michelle,
to be said.
I'm humbled by that. And I get told that a lot. But what's interesting to me is, I don't think anybody really needs to get praised for doing the right thing. If we had more people in life doing the right thing, I mean, listen, I'm a physician by trade. I swore an oath that said, first, do no harm. And by the way, doing nothing is extremely harmful. And by the way, I also I'm an American. I've got a First Amendment right of freedom of speech. And so, by the way, when the federal government came after us, they literally sued us for $8 million because some bogus trumped-up charge they tried to throw at us that's a civil complaint, saying that, they lied, by the way, and said that I told people if they just took vitamins, they didn't need to get a vaccine. I never said that. And that was the one thing they did. But all they tried to do was politicize that they're going after a doctor and trying to ruin someone. And if they were able to ruin one person, then the whole house of cards goes down. All doctors will fold whenever, they're pressed on what we said. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. let me show you. I'm in Missouri. I'm in the show me state. Let me show you the data, the research, what we've got to back up what we said. They said that there's no supporting data that supports that taking vitamin D, zinc, and eating a healthy diet and getting people healthier would be beneficial for any flu-like illnesses, let alone COVID. Well, once we showed them the over 1,000 research articles that are out there that shows that lifestyle change and there's alternative treatments that are out there, let alone the 127 articles alone on vitamin D and COVID, they thought, oh, my gosh, we better try to do something. And what they did was they said, let's go ahead and drop this case. Let's go ahead and we want to have an amicable separation is what they wanted to do. And I said, oh, you want to fine me a small little fine, which I paid. I mean, Michelle, you got to understand this. I've spent close to $1 million on legal fees just defending myself and suing them back. So I sued them back when they wanted to drop the case and walk away like nothing happened. I said, oh, no, Joker, you're not going to do that. We're going to show everybody how you did us wrong, and we're coming after you. So we put the pressure back on them because, listen, how do you stop a bully? You don't just ignore them. You got to push back sometimes. And that's what we're doing. By the way, I'm not the only one doing that. We've got lawyers and attorney generals and moms groups and dads groups and all kinds of that are pushing back saying we're not going to do this. And what happens when these groups that are pushing back on First Amendment and freedom of speech and religious freedom rights, what happens when they push back? And it ultimately goes back down to the law of the land, the Constitution. They win every single time. And so we're seeing victories happen all over the place. It's just so much is happening so quickly, and that's on purpose, by the way. It's on purpose to confuse you, because when you're confused, you get analysis paralysis, which means you think and don't do, and we need more people doing. We need people showing up to rallies, showing up to county council meetings, showing up to homeschool, showing up to student parent-teacher meetings and school board meetings and all this stuff, because those little things are causing the most important contagious thing to be happening right now, and that's contagious of courage, because that's what we need, and that's where we're at, and that's where we're going, Michelle, and it's exciting. It's really exciting to see it all.
Well, and another thing, to piggyback on that, and I know that everybody out there is paying attention to this show and to shows like yours that have their common sense caps on. I know that they're frustrated because they know that their vote doesn't count, right? We already know the election fraud of 2020 out of control. If you don't believe that, I can't help you at this point. I can't help you. But there is an election coming up in Virginia for the governor, and this is going to set the precedent for the CRT and the whole narrative about the parents not being allowed to even participate in the education of their children, and almost, like you had mentioned, being a second-class citizen and letting the government take control. So, yes, they have the ability to play with the election again, right? But at this point, every single person who believes in this country, who believes in that they have the right over the government to educate their children and don't want CRT amongst many other laundry list of letters being taught in their schools and have indoctrination and have, like they did, and I'm going to say it on this show, and have somebody, some boy dressed in a skirt go into the girl's bathroom and rape the girl. Okay, that's what happened. That's what was that they didn't get talked about for 4 months. Well, that's why the dad at the school board meeting in Virginia, Loudoun County, why he was so angry at the school board meeting, and they only played part of it that looked like he was beating up on the cops. No. He was just trying to have a conversation about what happened to his daughter who got raped, and the guy did it again. Okay, so if you don't want that happening, then you need to make sure you get out and you tell everybody in Virginia to vote for not the Terry, whatever, I can't think, McAuliffe. And you need to do that because then that will set the precedent for the rest of the country, for these Democrats to back down and realize, okay, well, if that happened there, then I better go ahead and follow that pattern of not supporting this because then I'm not going to win, and I only care about winning. So that is my advice for people, because it's working, and you've given great examples of how things are working, but we got to keep going. And this is not left or right. This is good and evil. This is Satan.
That's right.
This is demons, and this is God-fearing, God-loving people in this country. Would you like to comment on that, Dr. Eric Naputi?
Well, you're 100%. You're spot on. That's what this is about. Like this is what gets so frustrating. I know people think, well, no, surely, okay, here's the data. Like, for example, the study on masking. Like, there has not been one study that actually shows that masks actually are effective in reducing the spread of the virus. In fact, March the 12th of 2021, just this last March, there was a study done by the CDC, and the study showed that it actually that a mask only stops the spread of a virus by 0.8 to 1% maximum, 0.8 to 1%. If I was a doctor and got 0.8 to 1% right on my medical scores, I wouldn't be a doctor right now. Okay, so it only showed that, but yet the media took it and spun it and said, "Hey, great news, masks work." So they didn't go through all the data. They didn't show the whole thing, and the average person who doesn't know any better goes, "Oh my gosh, they work," and the media ran with it. So we have to understand that there's so much more to meets the eye than just what we're being told and what we're being sold. By the way, think about this: Why would there be a need for mass vaccinations of individuals that show a 99.997% survivability rate, 2 to 3 times higher than surviving the flu? Why would there be that? Why would there be that whenever studies are showing that 86% of kids that have gotten these injections that develop myocarditis had to go to the hospital? Why would that be? It's not about common sense versus COVID sense. It is about good versus evil. And once people realize that, and they realize that this is it, this is the opportunity, this is the one chance that you have in life to stand up for what's right. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your kids, do it for your family, do it for your future, do it for the people that you love and appreciate, because I'm telling you, all we need is enough people to stand. We really truly almost have critical mass. We almost have enough. And people are saying all the time, they're like, "Dr. Eric, I know it's a red October and it's scary and November is going to be crazy, but when is enough going to be enough?" When enough people feel the pain to change. And that's what it is. So I would just encourage you people to keep encouraging each other, keep listening to everything that's out there. Stay on your program. Come check out some of the stuff that we do. Brighty on TV is a great opportunity to really get some, to hear the BS that's really getting spun out there. You know, I mean, there's so much positive and so many victories, but yet you don't get to see it. And Michelle, I have friends, very close friends of mine that are in the mainstream media. I mean, before COVID came and, you know, I told the world what's the truth, I was always on Fox News and MSNBC and local and regional news. Always. I was their correspondent when a health question came up. I was always the guy that they went to, and we were always correct with what we told them. And so now I still have so many people that are in the media that are reaching out to me every day going, "Hey, they're telling us to tell people this. Can you show me how this is wrong?" And they're scared to say the truth because they will lose their job, period. So it's good versus evil, sister, is what it is. You're right.
Well, on that point, I want to get your opinion, or at least confirm and reassure the audience. One of our other partners that was on earlier, she's out in Los Angeles, right? You know, the city of sin in many ways now, right? She's a Hollywood producer, and her mom is her partner. And she went to the doctor to go get her, I believe it was blood pressure medication. And he says, "Well, because you're not vaccinated, I'm not going to treat you anymore. I'm not going to see you." So this is happening all over the country, but it's primarily out of control in California. And she was saying, "Well, you know, what happened to your hypocritical oath? What happened with your the whole point of helping people, especially in their time of need?" Comment on that, since you're in the industry and you have, I'm sure, colleagues that have done that to people. And the other thing that people can't get their arms around is, obviously, we've had Dr. Brian Artis on a couple times, and he was talking about the remdesivir and the protocols in the hospitals where they are literally killing people, right? So you don't want to get in the hospital, but at what point does the doctor look at facts? Does he think for himself? Does he go outside of the box of doing what he obviously is being commanded to do? Because you're dealing with you're not talking about a reporter who might lose their job. You're talking about somebody who actually will then die, which is a little bit different than somebody misrepresenting information because then they lose their job. So what has happened to your industry or the people in it when it just goes down to being a human being? And you know what I mean? What has gone on there?
Something. Great question, by the way. Great question. Let me tell you this. What you're seeing now is what we've known has been happening in the quote-unquote healthcare industry for at least the last 20 years that I know of it. Well, what do you mean by that? and by the way, it's just amplified because of COVID. But I can't tell you how many patients that we have seen or people that we've talked to over the last 2 decades that have said, I wanted to go and have my baby delivered at this facility, but because my birth plan was different than what they agreed with, they told me to go away. Or I've got 2 children that are vaccine injured, and I said I don't want to vaccinate my 3rd child because of concern, and the pediatrician says they won't see me. Or because I don't want to take the medications for my high blood pressure, and I want to find out how I can fix the cause of the problem, the doctors kick me out of their practice. And by the way, ever since insurance started changing their recommendations, let me say that again, the insurance companies have been dictating the level of health and care that patients have gotten. And by the way, one of the problems that most doctors have a problem with is this real simple thing called critical thinking. They have a problem for thinking for themselves. If you look at how the way the healthcare industry has been derived and coerced and manipulated over the past several decades, it's all about protocol. It's not about going and seeing this doctor who can critically think about what's the cause of your problem. It's about, do we follow this protocol? And you go to a hospital right now, the protocol, like Dr. Brian Artist talks about, who's a dear friend of mine, we talk weekly, multiple times a week, because we agree that the protocols are what are killing people. You go right now to a hospital, and if you don't have certain things, they won't allow you into the hospital. And if you come because of COVID, they will only treat you a certain way. A great example. Let me just tell you the story. This is insane. So I have a friend of mine who's a UFC Hall of Fame inductee, was WWF wrestling, had somebody jump off the top rope, broke his spine. He went to the ER at a local ER. He had a spinal fracture. They refused to care for him because he did not have the COVID vaccine. He went home, ended up getting a staph infection, almost died because they would not treat him. That's one example. Another example, I have a patient of mine who is a she's been scheduled for a kidney transplant in Colorado. They will not give her the transplant unless the person who has the transplant and the person who's getting the transplant are both fully vaccinated. There's no studies that show that that is a good idea whatsoever. None. In fact, there are multiple studies that suggest the So what I'm telling you is the protocols and systems are problematic. We had a doctor call the radio show. He developed pneumonia. So he goes to the hospital. He's a retired medical doctor. He goes to the hospital in South Florida, goes to the hospital first day, checks in. He's negative for COVID, has pneumonia. They start him on a pneumonia protocol, and he starts to do well. Second day, they test him again, negative for COVID again. Day 2, doing pneumonia protocol, doing well. Day 3, he tests positive on a PCR test that has a high false positive rating on it. And now they said, hey, we got to stop all treatment that we're doing because there are no treatments for COVID the way that we're treating you for pneumonia. They completely changed their course of care. He started getting worse, started getting sick, literally had to fight his way out of the hospital to get himself out of there. They tied him to the bed because he was going against their protocols. So it's not about doctors standing up. It's understanding that the system, the healthcare system, is set up to maximize profits and services, and it is not about getting sick people well. Listen, I have friends of mine that have really done amazing things in the healthcare space. I have one friend of mine that has a program that we use. It's 97% reversal of type 2 diabetes. I have another good friend of mine that has a natural nanotechnology that he uses as a natural antibiotic. It doesn't cause any side effects. But do you think that's the standard of care? No, they want to give you drugs, dope, and pump you full of poison because there ain't no money in the cures. The money is keeping people fat, sick, and nearly dead, and ignorant and confused towards what's really happening. I could speak to that for days, but that's the system. And what COVID did, 2020, here you go, Michelle, here's 2020. 2020 was the year that we were able to see those that were allowed to see. We were able to see with 2020 vision the disruption, the disgusting, and the problems of the medical tyranny and establishment that are out there. Now it's up to those of us that saw it to wake everybody else up towards it slowly, because it's scary. I mean, it's disgusting on what's happening. My offices are busier than they've ever been. I'm on the phone nonstop with people in addition to all the other things that we're doing because of all of the horrible ways that human beings are treating each other, all in the name of COVID-19. It's disgusting.
Well, I'm glad that you clarified and brought up the 2020 vision, because I've been saying that since this whole thing started, I said, as they forced us to put our masks on, they literally all took their masks off. And the things that came out of their mouths was if they didn't realize they're on a hot mic. I mean, you would go, does this guy know he's on camera? Does this guy know that this is being recorded? That I cannot believe that they're saying the things that you kind of always thought that they were doing, but they just blatantly came out in the open. I mean, talk about brazen. Yeah. Talk about a set of huevos on these people. You're like, seriously, are you saying, they're like, I knew it. I knew that was your MO the whole time. So they revealed themselves in all the categories. The medical is just one of it. You've got politicians. You've got the education system. You've got big pharma. You've got media. You've got entertainment. You've got the sports. You name it. I call them the 13 bigs, all the bigs. Even big box, you know what I mean? You're talking about big money, big banks, all of that. They put their cards on the table and they just said, hey, this is the real us. And you went, oh, my God, this is beyond demonic. Like, you people. Well, this is just a behemoth that needs to be dismantled. It needs to be not supported. And that's what we were talking about earlier on the show. It is up to the American people to really make a decision. Where are you going to spend your money? Who are you going to support? Who you are, and where you're going to keep your money, and we need to not fuel the beast anymore because they have they have everything on their side because all of them are working together against us. So how do we kill the beast? We got to stop giving them our money. Yeah, it might be a little more not as convenient to have the Amazon thing come in an hour, but at least when we always thought Southwest Airlines was great. Well, hell no, not now. Not now. They are a non-freedom airline, so don't fly them. It's like freedom to fly, only if you comply. That's their new slogan. Yeah. But at least Delta, they might still be putting their people through hell, but at least they dropped the mandate. Well, for right now. But so what I'm saying is you have to know which companies to support, which shows to pay attention to. Don't give the ratings to the groups, and don't support the people that sponsor those shows. You can't. That's one of the only ways that we can dismantle them, because we've got all the forces are against us except for God, but we got to do a little bit more than our part. And don't get me wrong. I always tell everybody, start your day, pray, plan, take action, but we got to do a little more than just praying at this point. We can play with the money game. You want to give a little bit of insight on that? And I know you're going to give us. You were going to give us 30 minutes, but if you want to stick a little longer, you're more than welcome, Mr. Busy Man.
The reality of what you just said is so true. I always tell people you got to pray, but you also have to shuffle your feet. So what does that mean? You can bless your food all day long, and it's going to be great and healthier food, and you're giving thanks to God, which you should. But if you bless your McDonald's or your Chinese takeout, you're just going to get to meet God a little quicker than you originally were supposed to, because there are laws of nature and there are supernatural laws as well. That's the truth with COVID. So we've got to pray while we shuffle our feet. The first step to success is showing up, right? So if you want to fix these problems, you got to show up. And that's part of the deal. There's still too many people that are asleep. They got their head in the sand. They don't understand that if they don't stand up, then it's never going to happen. And here's my thoughts. If not now, when? If not who? If not me, then who? And that's where we're at right now. So I would encourage all of your listeners to take action. And little simple things. Little simple things would be like, all right, if you're not someone who's going to go out and join events and go to events and join groups and that, then share these podcasts. Share the radio stations with folks. Share the messages that you get. Everybody listening is an author and a publisher. There are social media avenues that are still out there. Clout Hub is amazing. There's still some semblances of things you can share with each other. Email each other the information that you find. Have people come over to your house and have a get together and watch a couple videos. There's some amazing DVDs that are out now, COVID Land and other documentaries that are coming out that are really good and truthful, and just hold the line. But join something, do something, put your money where your mouth is. If everybody gave, $5 to this effort, then we'd have billions of dollars fighting against the trillions of dollars that we're fighting. But at the end of the day, you just got to do something. Actions are the most powerful things. Thinking and praying is necessary, but you got to take massive action steps to create the reality and future that you want. And everyone who's listening now has that opportunity. Join a mailing list. There might be something that you hear on something I say or that Michelle says or somebody else says that you're like, hey, that resonates with me. I'm going to remember that and share that. Not everybody has to have 1 million, 20 million, 30 million views on a video. I mean, everybody has the ability to help, you just gotta take action steps, Michelle. That's the big key. It really is.
And that's great advice. And the donation part, the $5, you got to stop donating to the GOP. Stop donating to any of those foundations and those funds, anything political or any at this point right now, unless you personally know a candidate, do not give them $1, right? We've got other things to focus the money on because we're not going to make it to the 2022 election as it is now anyway. So don't put the money there. Focus on organizations that you know are the grassroots that are rolling up their sleeves, that are doing something as part of this overall movement, and be smart about that. Because they don't need any more of your, because they already got hundreds of millions of dollars that are being used against you. Because if they really wanted to help, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in. So they're not there to help you. Keep that in mind. Plug your podcast, plug your website, whatever else and your radio show. I want to make sure you get that all information out there.
Yeah, so the easiest way to find me and follow me, real simple, go to realtalkwithdre.com. That's realtalkwithdre.com. You can link to everything there, or you can also go to eric.nepute. That's ERIC.NEPUTE.com. That's ericnepute.com. So not Eric period. That's ericnepute.com. ERICNEPUTE.com. And man, I'm telling you, we've been so blessed. This new radio program we started, we got sick of being censored on social media. So we said, all right, we're going to buy our own radio network. So we bought a station. We're on our fifth. We're getting ready to buy our fifth tower now. It's unreal. We just started this 6 weeks ago. We've already had 20 million plus people hit our website. It's Real Talk 93.3 FM, realtalk933fm.com. You can download the app off Apple or Android, and it's unbelievable. I got people listening all over the world because of the app. And Michelle, I'd love if you would come on and let me interview you on my program, because that's what the platform is for. It's for all of us working together so that we can bless more people together. We've got to stop this whole, I'm only going to play in my sandbox. We've got to circle the wagons and not shoot in, but shoot out. And only way we're going to survive this is if we do this together. So I'd love that. I'm live every day, 9 a.m. until 11 Central Standard Time, 2 hours of Fury. We're blessed to have amazing interviews just like you have on your program. And it's all about sharing the truth with the masses. So check us out.
I would be honored to be a guest on your show, Dr. Eric Nepute, and I want to get together with you or whoever is running the network, because I want to be able to partner with you guys in whatever capacity so we can promote it as much as possible. I'll share it on our platform, put it on the must-listen-to page, but I want to be able to do more than just sharing posts. So I'll get with Holly and help me with that, because that is definitely, that needs to be out there. And, of course, we're going to support your show and your various websites, because you're doing God's work, and you're walking the walk and you're talking the talk, and you're not afraid to fight. And people want fighters because courage is contagious. So thank you so much for coming on. You're a great man, Dr. Eric Nepute. And I do love that last name, Nepute.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do, Michelle. We'll be talking soon. I look forward to doing some more work together. You have a blessed day, and love and appreciation to you and your audience. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You have a great day, too. Oh, what a mighty, mighty good man. So I'm telling you, Dr. Eric Nepute has got it going on. He is one of those freedom fighters who is out there delivering the truth, standing up for everyone's freedom, everyone's health, and is taking the hits, right? So let's reflect on what everything was shared on this show today. Okay, this was probably one of the most powerful shows we've done. Well, even though most of the shows are, don't get me wrong, all the shows are powerful. I mean, it's like the power hour-ish, right? It started as a 1 hour, and then we had to add on to the second portion of the show because it's Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox, because I want to feature longer format interviews for the messages that matter, the people that you need to know about. You know, a little bit more headliners, a little bit more real hardcore current events, something that's really, really relevant in that second hour that starts at the 1 p.m. Pacific time. Then, so it went from the power hour, the most power hour of podcasts out there, to the most power hour-ish of podcasts. But go back, listen to this episode a couple of times. Listen to it again. You're going to pull out more information. And it might even get you all fired up, might get you actually a little bit more confidence in doing things, taking things to the next level. not only that we're here to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference, especially in your communities, which, enhance the quality of your life has to do with health, right? So we are going to, I'm still going to, obviously, like I said, I'm still going to talk about the COVID stuff, but we are going to provide much more solutions when you're incorporating all of those three legs of that stool of life, right? Stool of life. Well, of course, you have your common sense cap on. We, because I can't keep calling people mask holes, because you're a mask hole if you're wearing a mask, right? We already know that. And the people that are listening are like, give me something else that I can bite my teeth into that I don't already know, right? So I don't want to keep reiterating the common sense things, because we got the audience here who already knows common sense because they're wearing the caps all day long. They're not taking them off. So we have now graduated from, the kindergarten levels. We're more in the, we're in the college world now. So let's go ahead, and that's why I want everyone to come together. And that's why we're going to do some extra stuff here with Dr. Eric Napute and his radio station, 93.3fm.com. I don't know about the extra points in there, but you know what I'm saying. I'll get it out. We'll get it, on the website. It'll be on the must follow and join page under the Take Action tab. You can always go to everythinghometalkshow.com, everythinghometalkshow.com, or go to everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. That'll give you the long list from launch links. It gives you the listing of all the pages, and we're going to add more stuff on there. So, anyway, I don't want to be roundabout. It's 2:10. I'm wrapping it up because I don't want to stay long. I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't want to go past much over the 2-hour mark. I can go on and on and on, but I don't want to waste your time. I want you to go now and implement the information that we gave. There's a lot in here. So share the show with your friends. Share it with your family. Some of these people that listen to this content, I literally will save their life at this point, because we're dealing with health, right? We're dealing with health, but we're also talking about business in your own life, in your community. So hopefully the information that we provided today and every day does something to literally encourage you, that empowers you, that gives you a kick in the rear end to do something, gives you the resources to do that. It reassures you that we can do this, but they've got to do more than just like Dr. Eric and I were saying. You got to do more than pray. Even though we want you to get up an hour every day earlier, which I did not do today. Again, I keep falling off the wagon. I'm good for a couple of days, and then I fall off. We want to get you want to get up an hour early. You want to pray. You want to plan, and then you want to take action, right? And then in the three categories, business, life, and community. That's why Take Action BLC. Take Action BLC. I am going to fine-tune that Take Action toolkit that I keep telling you that I've been putting together, right? But we're going to give you the resources. It's not a ton. It's just going to be enough to get your whistle wet, right? Get you going, get you in the groove, because he gave a bunch of great scenarios that we've been talking about. But I'm glad he brought it up, because if it's coming from me, you're like, Michelle, she's just crazy. She doesn't know. If it comes from somebody like Dr. Napute, well, then maybe you're going to be like, okay, maybe she's not as crazy. Maybe it's good to know that somebody else said the same thing. So if you, like you said, if you're not ready to go join a group and actually get a little bit more active, become a digital warrior, right? Become a virtual volunteer. Push out the information. At this point, everybody can be their own investigative reporter, their own media source, right? Everybody's got phones. Love these phones. And you can share shows. You can share content. You can share this platform. Share his show. Share the other shows. Share all this information so that people are equipped with the right content. Your job as a freedom-loving, country-loving, God-fearing person, right, is to have a little gist of information about a lot of different things. It's almost like your civic duty, and get the word out. Get the word out, right? Because if there was more people that thought like that think like you think, and it's not because you're trying to brainwash them. You're just showing them the truth. You're just showing them the facts. You're just reminding them that 99% of the information that they've been told by all the false authorities, the 13 bigs, everything that they've been building a foundation of everything has been a lie, right? Remember, we're just to the point where we're questioning, is 2 and 2 really 4? That's where I am with everything. I don't believe any of the stuff that comes at you, especially from somebody in an elected elite position. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh no, we can't do that. What do they say about the long arm of justice? It takes a long time. Oh crap! Because all of a sudden, when they wanted to go ahead, and I'm going to give you multiple examples. I'm just going to give you one recent one. So all of a sudden, when they wanted to get the quote-unquote fake whistleblower from Facebook in front of Congress, no, it was like, boom, overnight, all of a sudden they're having a hearing. But yeah, they want to have a hearing for something along the lines of, Afghanistan, in the way that was actually went down, calculated by design. That was purposely done that way. Don't let anyone think that was just done because they bungled some sort of protocol. Bull crap on that. So that what took 2-3 weeks. But then all of a sudden they need to go ahead and remember when the guys were at the baseball, there was something with the steroids back in the day. And all of a sudden, the game was on a Sunday, and then all of a sudden, by Tuesday or Wednesday, Kurt Schilling's on Capitol Hill with a hearing, and you're like, seriously, that is the priority? That 2-3 days, that guy, you're having hearings when all this other stuff is years, or hearings about COVID and the Wuhan virus. I mean, really, months, years? But when they want it, it happens overnight. Okay, hello, lies. Again, once you accept the fact that all of this information that has been given to you was done by design to get you into a mode, which we were talking about earlier. They don't want you to know about finances. They don't want you to know about how the system works. They want you to be poor. They want you to be a follower. They want you to be a dependent of the government. They want you to think that you need them. Then they want to destroy things, and they want people to be dependent. Yeah, I'm going to say it again, dependent. They want you to be a slave, whether it's a sex slave that you come across a border and they're doing it with the kids, or a COVID slave, where you're slapping on a mask and you're crazy enough to get a non-vaccine in your arm that is going to destroy your immune system and most likely eventually take you out, right? And then they want you to be a slave to everything else. Yes, it is a slave. It is slave. I mean, use those words, slaves. Sex slaves, COVID slaves, many other slaves. That's all they want. And they want you to just then go ahead and follow instructions, put your mask on, don't stand up. And if you go to a school board meeting and actually give information and you stick up for the country and your kids' education, your domestic, what? Mind-blowing, right? Oh, my goodness. So anyway, I can go on and on and on. But, again, share the show, share this platform, listen to the episodes that we did last week, 261 with Dr. Lee Merritt and Dr. 254 with a Dr. Brian Artis. If you want a little bit more information about your rights that aren't being respected or held up in regards to the non-vaccines, Alan Phillips is on episode 250. I think he's 259. 259. Yeah, 259. 260, I did a standalone of Dr. Artis's version of the episode 254. And all of these shows are listed on our website. If you go to the COVID Facts tab, and the page that will drop down, it says COVID episodes, Great Reset episodes, delivered by experts, doctors, and common sense people, right? So go check that out. I've listed them all. There's probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15, 20, 25 maybe. We're hitting about 25 of all the players in the game that are going to give you the information that matters, the facts, the truth. Share these. Share this information. And use this in your arsenal when you have conversations, when somebody looks at you, and just, you know what I do in the stores now? I know it's 2:18. I'm literally wrapping it up at this point. I go in the stores, and when people are wearing the mask, I stare them down, and they look at me. And I shake my head, and I make a noise. Well, that's what you got to do. You got to turn the tables on them because you got to turn it. They're manipulating language. They want everything to They want you to transition. They want you to transform, right? No, we're not doing that. No trans. Trans isn't working. And they keep using it everywhere. Every time you turn around. They even said it with from the feds. Oh, it's trans. I can't even think of it right now, but I heard the other day they started talking about when we were talking about the budget or the inflation. It was trans something, and I said, oh my God, they just love this word trans. They're sticking it in anything. Everything is trans. Like they're just gonna pop it in front of everything. They're like, they should just get shirts that I heart trans. I heart trans. It's literally the word is everywhere, but they're adding it to things. Like it's like trans COVID. Oh my God, you have trans COVID. Oh no, you have trans COVID. That's gonna be the next, the next variant. You've got the trans COVID. Oh, no, it's not going to be a variant. It's going to be a whole new strain. I have the trans COVID. Oh, my God, you got the trans COVID. What are you going to do? I don't know. I need to get a trans vax. You need to get the trans vax. Yes, I need to get the trans vax because I have the trans COVID. Thank God they've got a trans booster. Oh, thank God. Thank God they have that. Yeah. It's effing insane, guys. It's effing insane. But anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you. If you're still listening live, make sure that you remember that we are live. Make sure. I hate to say that. I just said, please listen to us live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 p.m. Pacific time. 5 guest 7-minute segments, and then Michelle's Patriotic Soapbox. The following hour starts the 1 p.m. mark. 1 to 2 guests, depending on. I'm trying to keep the show at the 2-hour mark. Oh, it's 2:20, but I think I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get people to talk for only 20. I'm going to have to cut everybody down. I'm going to have to say maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes on each of the guys, so I can end up at 2 because I want to make sure that you're jam packed with information. But now you got to go act on it. Go act on it, right? That's what you're going to do. The other thing too, before I wrap it up, you got to remember to go to our marketplace, right? Go to our marketplace. So you can go to their website, everythinghomeaboutus.com, everythinghomeaboutus.com. That gives you the whole list of different pages that we've got. Or you can go to everythinghometalkshow.com, everythinghometalkshow.com, whichever you remember, right? It doesn't matter. Get you to the same place. Then you go to the marketplace tab. That'll get you to the marketplace. That's the one where we've created a community-powered philanthropy site. So that way you don't have to make donations, but you can help out different organizations. You can help out our platform. So whenever you purchase, we got 57 different well-known websites and brands, products and services that you're going to recognize. You're buying this stuff anyway. But if you go through our website, then the donation is generated. 2 to 20% of your total purchase goes to support our nonprofit and groups. That's Pets, Kids, and Freedom, like Warriors for Ranchers with Mike Miller. So he gets a portion of that, right? So that's what you want to do. Go there. You're never going to pay more than if you go to the websites directly. You're always going to get some sort of a discount because they love to throw teasers out there. And, of course, our biggest partner is MyPillow, Mike Lindell, MyPillow. So go to mypillow.com. Just make sure you use the promo code HOME, HOME, promo code HOME, HOME, and you get all the discounts that you hear on all the other shows, on the TV, on the commercials, but you're helping him out. Speaking of Mike Lindell, we're working on getting him on the show, but I met him when we were in Tulsa. Cool guy. Just that he's been very busy. So I just said, we're gonna wait till it's ready. But Brandon House, they host with him on Lindell TV, and Frank Speech is going to be coming on. We're going to work out those details this week, and I will keep us to when that's going to happen. And real quick before I go, so make sure you go to the Marketplace tab and go buy some stuff. Go buy your holiday gifts. Go load up now. And I support all of the MyPillow products. There's not just towels and slippers and sheets, which are great, by the way. Oh, and a plug for this is I just heard on one of the radio stations that I listen to, Joe Piscopo's show, 970. They Boll and Branch, right? Boll and Branch, if you remember that commercial for sheets. They're like, we gave the sheets for the presidents and blah, blah, blah. I bought those years ago. It's ridiculously expensive. Okay, they lasted for like maybe 2 years, and literally one day, my foot went right through the sheet. Okay, and they're very, very thin, and they are not soft, and they are much more expensive than Mike's sheets, Mike Lindell sheets. MyPillow.com, promo code HOME, HOME. Those sheets are comfortable. They're the most comfortable sheets that I've purchased, and I think they were pretty much the most inexpensive sheets that I've ever bought. Yeah, and the most comfortable. So, again, and the towels, they're great too. But he has 110 different products. So they're not just his. He has a whole platform where he supports small business owners, entrepreneurs that make American-made products. So go check that out. Again, so much to share. I can go on and on. Literally, all the information is on the website. Become join our newsletter so you can get this information straight to your inbox. And so they don't censor that, but there's only so much we can do. But it's better than the social media. But then again, we're going to be having you join us over at Clout Hub. But I figured if we can get everybody to start going over there as a group, then it'll be a much easier transition. And you're going to get more people sharing your information and contacting you to work with you to buy your products and services, or even just to, like you said, read your posts, right? Or whatever it is that you're doing. So we're going to try to get everybody to start transitioning to Clout Hub. That's our group over at clouthub.com. Save My Freedom. It's the Save My Freedom movement. That's for your personal freedom, your professional freedom, your financial freedom. And it all comes together. Part of that three-legged stool of life, the 3 Legs Stool of Life. So if you want to go check that out, but I'm going to start working on it because all of these people that you're hearing on our show, they're going to be a part of that group. They're going to be part of that group. So we can all move over together. You've got to get away from the Facebook and Mark Zucker. I'm not going to say Buck. I'll just say Mark Zuckerbuck, and then you change the B to an F, and then you say that to yourself because that's what he is, okay? I can't even put any of my websites and the links. I can't even put that. Nobody can. I've been banned. Like Mike Adams, the reason why he started Brighttown.com was because he got banned from Facebook. You can't put Brighttown TV, Brighttown.com links on Facebook. That's me. I'm no Mike Adams. I'm no Brighttown, but I've got the same restrictions on me. That is insane. I'm a little guy. Right? I'm like a little person in the big picture. But that's what they do. They go after the little ones, right? Because then if they go to the big ones, then they'll get the attention. And then keep in mind, this is what they do. So they stopped like just taking down sites because then it got that too much media, too much attention. This way they cut you off at the knees, and then you're like, how the hell am I supposed to walk around, right? So they shadow ban you. So you got like 5,000 friends, 4 people see it. And then they say, oh, well, you just can't, you got community standards violation. I don't even post. I haven't posted in a week on purpose just because it's almost like, what's the point? But then every day I'll get like 20, when I finally pull up the account, 20 violations. I haven't posted, dude. So because they're just going back to the past 5 years, and anytime my website's mentioned, which is literally in every post, I get a violation. But you would think with 20 violations a day for the past month, I think it was 5 weeks to me. You think I would be shut down? No, they don't want to shut you down. They don't need to. Why cause attention to themselves? They'll just shadow ban you, and then you can't list your website. So what's the point? What am I going to do? Like I said earlier, what am I going to do? Post what I had for lunch? Nobody cares what I had for lunch. You shouldn't care what I had for lunch. Well, if we were dealing with a health segment, and then I was actually eating healthy, and then I was losing weight because I was exercising, well, then maybe it would be relevant to what you should be eating for lunch, because then you could say, I'm practicing what I'm preaching and look at my washboard stomach. But instead of having a 6-pack, I have a 6-pack of rolls. It is relative. At that point, you'd want to know what I'm having for lunch. But anyway, real quick, it's 2:26. I promise I'm wrapping it up. It's kind of like, and Joan Rivers, God, I love that woman. I'm telling you, I'm like probably her number 1 fan. But anyway, what she used to do during her shows, and I've mentioned this before, is that she would be doing her show, and then she would be like, okay, now I'm going to start the show any minute now, and then she would keep going, and she's like, all right, well, don't worry, the show's going to start any minute now. So I'm almost getting to the point where it's time that can you play the music again so we can start the show? And she would play that little shtick throughout, and then of course by the next thing you know, it's an hour and a half in, and it's time to wrap up the show. But anyway. Anytime that when I extend past my time, I make those comments. It reminds me of my friend who I did meet 2005. Unfortunately, it was back before there was camera phones, and I didn't bring my camera because I didn't really think I was going to meet her. But I met her at an event here backstage. It was pretty awesome. I wormed my way through at the Celebrity Theater, which God only knows what it's called now because everything has a different name, same location. Story of Arizona. It's like whenever they say, oh, there's this new restaurant or this new bar or this new place. Oh, really? What did it used to be? And then you're like, no, I'm not familiar with that. And I go, what was it before? No. And well, what was it before? Oh, okay. I know where you're talking about. Everything usually changes hands here. Like the name changes 10 times. Anyway, a little inside scoop for the Arizona peeps that know what I mean by that. And then it actually then tags your age because you remember what it was originally, and then maybe the second or third time, and then after that you got old. You didn't necessarily go out anymore, so you don't know what the last 2 or 3 was. It's like the same analogy of when you're watching. If you happen to be scrolling, or if you're looking at one of these late night comedy shows, where you're watching any of the award shows, or at least, not necessarily watching them, but you're seeing who's performing at them, or even like the Macy's Day Parade, or and they're putting up the list, or even, it's another one, or like the musical guests of Saturday Night Live. You're old when you don't know any of the groups or any of the people. And I would say about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, that's when I realized I have a problem. I'm like, I don't know any of these people. I don't know who these guests are. I am officially old. And I think that was about the same time I Well, it was the same time I should have admitted I needed to wear glasses no matter to read anything. But I didn't pull that card until last summer. I pushed that out, and I kept blaming the graphic designers. Oh my God, it's 2:29. One more story, and then I got to go. So I couldn't. I didn't. Anyway, I had a graphic designer who was making graphics last summer, and he would be sending them over, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know what it is. Why can't you make this clear? It's like I said, can you see where it's the lines are here, and then this thing isn't lined up, and then this isn't clear. I was like, what kind of software are you using? I'm like, and so I'm giving the guy a hard time. And then I think the roommate comes in, and I said, what do you think of this? He's like, oh, I think it looks good. I said, well, isn't that right there? Isn't that a problem? Isn't that blurry? Isn't that the whatever? It's not clear. It's like he's using some sort of like haze or different font or something. He's like, no, it's totally clear. I was like, oh my God, it's me. He goes, yeah, I think you need glasses. So I was like, oh my God. I couldn't figure it out. So stupid. So anyway, the information, again, is right there in front of our faces. I bring that sums up the show for today. The information's right there in front of your face. Take it for what it's worth, what people are telling you. Take it for what they say, right? Don't try to say, well, I think he meant that. No, again, if the guy's telling you he's going to kill you, and then he's standing right in front of you, and your friend goes, no, I don't think he meant he was going to kill you. No, he's standing in front of me right now, and he says, yeah, I'm going to kill you. So when the people on TV, the elected elites, and everybody else says something, take them for what their word is. They're worth, not saying don't give them credit for it, but just when they say something, believe what they're saying, that it is their opinion, not that they actually, they're not telling you the truth. So, a lot of them are being very transparent, as we were saying earlier. Remember, 2020 is the year we had our 2020 vision. It was the year that they forced us, or they tried. Well, a lot of people fell for it. They forced us to put the masks on, but yet they took their masks off. Yeah, another example, 231. I promise I'm going to wrap it up. I'm done. Arizona, it's called public instruction, the Department of Public Instruction. Okay, well, when I grew up, it was the Department of Public Education back in New Jersey. No way to hairstay, right? All you need is $1 and a dream. So, public instruction. What happened to public education? Again, they don't want you to be educated. They want you to be instructed so you can be indoctrinated. Take it for what they say. Take it for what the words are. Everything's out in the open. So let's open up our eyes. And again, we're going to get up every morning 1 hour early, and I'm going to do my best tomorrow to do it, because I gotta practice what I preach, right? I gotta turn these rolls into a six-pack. Whoop. That's the next thing. Michelle's going to start exercising, and I'm going to drag any of you along with me who wants to do it. We're going to have like accountability sessions. Oh yeah, that's going to go over real well. But anyway, I'm not going to go any further. It's 2:32. I'm going to wrap it up. It's time to go. We got to bring more peeps together. I got to go bring in these businesses. I got to go find these more guests, so that way you have all of this quality content. And then I want you to all start networking together. I want you to start working together. We're going to bring in all these sources. Speaking of bringing in, one more plug for what's coming up. We're going to be starting another show. I'm working with a couple people, which I won't say their names right now, and a couple great partners and sponsors. But we're going to be bringing together investors who want to invest in patriotic businesses, whether they're startups or they're like 1 to 5 years old, or maybe even a little bit older, but they need to take themselves to the next level. And patriotic businesses, like people who believe in this country, people who want to support freedom, who believe in just the opposite of everything that's going on now. So we're going to be bringing them together. So if you're interested, if you're still listening, you're interested, or you know somebody who is a potential investor, or you've got somebody who is a potential business or startup, can be somebody that just got it on paper. It doesn't matter. We're going to bring it together. It's going to be like a Shark Tank without Mark Cuban, right? Because, he's a lunatic left, and he's part of the CCP with the NBA. Yeah, I said it out loud. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to tell the truth. Got to tell the truth. So do me a favor. Shoot me an email. Michelle@passionprojects.com, Michele @passionprojects.com. You can also go to the website, or not org.org. Oops. Or make it easy. If you go to the website, and you go to everythinghometalkshow.com, everythingaboutus.com, and you click on the media and cool stuff tab. There's a contact page. Everything is there. So shoot me an email and put money in the subject line. That's all you got to do. And then we'll add you to the list, and we'll send you the information so you can get to be one of the people that come on the show. And you're going to get the training that you need in order to do the pitch, to talk to the investors. And then, of course, then the magic happens. You can be on the show, but then there's going to be other people that are listening, and then you'll be introduced to a whole new group of people. It's going to be an awesome, awesome show because, again, the whole thing goes back to you got to stop feeding the beast. You got to stop buying the products and services and from the people that hate you, right? The big companies and the evil entities. And you got to stop keeping your money in the banks like Bank of America and Chase and Wells Fargo and all those. You got to put them in the community banks, and you got to get rid of some of these credit cards, right? And that's going to be probably the hardest thing, depending on who issues them. But we're going to get all that information. We're going to put it on the website. It's going to be under the Take Action tab. So then that way you can easily know. You can go, all right, well, I got to stay away from the evil demons. I'm definitely not going to give them my money. A lot of them you already know, which is pretty much all of them, right? Which is sad. So we're gonna bring all the good peeps and put in one location. Remember, the ultimate resource platform, one location for all the information. Literally, it's our website, which is evolving into the platform. We're going to get more, we're going to be out and about even more so. We want more people involved because we want to promote you. We want to promote your business. We want to promote your organizations. We want to promote everybody promoting one another. How amazing is that when we're working together? There's power in numbers, and we're going to be bringing together. So that is all that's all. Well, it's not all I got. I can keep going, but I'm going to wrap it up. So it is time to renew our faith. We got to restore our republic. We're working on rebuilding the economy. We got to unfuel the beast, right? And once you commit, everything changes. I don't want you being a mask hole, but I'm not going to tell you not to be a mask hole, because if you're wearing the mask, you're kind of too far gone. So I will let your family members and your friends take care of that, probably the ones who listen to the show, but I can't keep repeating. The definition of insanity is saying the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So there's only so much we can do, because if you're not willing to take personal responsibility, educate yourself, and listen to the messages that matter from the people that you need to know about. And if we're giving you all this information and we're sharing other people's information, I can't, shall I say, like the horse. Remember, I just don't understand why they pick on these animals when they do these analogies. You can lead a horse to water, but you shouldn't have to kick him in the ass to make him drink it. And I'm not going to do that with you. I'm not going to kick you in the ass, and I'm not going to hit you upside the head with a 2x4 to knock some common sense into you, because the 2x4 is too damn expensive to buy. So I'm not going to waste my money on the 2x4. Love you dearly, but the only thing I'm going to do is ask you to put on your common sense cap and leave it on all day. Sleep in it, never take it off. And we're actually going to be having common sense caps for sale. And we're going to be working with all of our groups so that a portion of the proceeds go back to some of these organizations. How awesome is that? So remember, courage, conviction, and common sense are contagious. Special thank you to all of our partners of the Everything Home Socially Conscious Referral Network. Their information, their episodes, and their own shows, their contact information, everything is listed on our website, everythinghomeaboutus.com. Everythinghomeaboutus.com. That's the pages. That's all the listings of all the pages. It has the listings of all the social media accounts. It has a listing of all the podcast players that we're on. Again, all this information is still on and it'll get you to the website. Everything's connected together. So I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It's a Fisher-Price website. It's done very easily. It's a working warehouse of quality content. It's like the way Home Depot used to be when they used common sense, which, I got to get Bernie on the show. And then maybe we can talk about Home Depot, because they've kind of veered off the path. They veered off the path of where they used to be. All righty. So upcoming guests, amazing so far, and we're going to really load it up. We got Rick Monroe, Cash Patel, Annie Cyrus, Dr. Mike Spalding, Jeff Breen, Alex Newman. Not just the tip of the iceberg, but we're going to have a lot more loading up for the month of November and December. We're going to finish this year strong. We're going to give you the power, peeps. We're going to give you the power to take everything in your life to the next level, your business, your life, and your community, all right here. So tune in. Wednesday, we're going to do the Lee Merritt standalone episode from last week. So that'll be on the show at 12 p.m. on Wednesday. So that way you could share that, just that portion with your friends, your family, your contacts. That literally is the most powerful, packed episode I have ever heard. And I've listened to her on a lot of shows. She combined multiple shows, new information, interviews that she did, her presentation, and jam-packed it all into an hour and a half. Literally, it will change everything. It'll change the conversation. We got to help make that viral, not for my own sake, has nothing to do with me. If you want to fast forward through me, I don't really care. It's the content and the information that this woman provided. A super woman, episode 261. And then I'm going to replay that on Wednesday. And then we'll be back live Friday time. Tune in. You can go to everythinghomelive.com, everythinghomelive.com, and you can live stream it. And then, of course, it's always going to be then rebroadcasted on 25 different podcast players. So, again, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining the community. Thank you for sharing this show and this platform. Whoa, with bringing everybody together, we can make a huge difference because there's a lot more of us than there are them. And we need to just start being a lot more vocal. So a special thank you for my guests today. You guys were incredible. So one of the best episodes. And I apologize. I kind of talked a lot, but I got fired up. This is what happens in the weekend. Michelle goes to a store, and then just crazy crap happens. So I think you're awake. If you're still listening, awesome. Thank you. And go take action on what we shared. It's a really great show. You got this. We got this. Play every morning. Pray, plan, take action. Go make it a great day because you deserve it. And how about a little God bless the USA to take it home? Tune in Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
You've been listening to Everything Home with Michelle Swinnick. Life, laughter, and the pursuit of happiness. To meet, learn from, and hire the experts and the guests, professionals, and members of the Everything Home Socially Conscious Referral Network and Marketplace, visit everythinghometalkshow.com/episodes. And to listen, subscribe, rate, review, like, follow, comment, and share, go to www.everythinghometalkshow.com and find us on all the major listening platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you were entertained, and we hope that you picked up some real-life, tangible takeaways from some good people doing good business and good things. Till next time, this is Everything Home, signing off.